A bit. What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to another installment of the wild world of of CJTV, kind of the behind the stream action here. For you guys that have been with us for a while, we typically are out in the field. I'm usually out covering things on the street, following the beat of the street, if you will. Things have changed a lot. The current state of the union has changed quite a bit. So we're doing things a little bit different. We're trying to stay relevant with the current, changing of the times right now, which is good. It gives us a chance to kind of warm up through the winter and stay safer than things have been out in the streets for a while. But like I said, things have died down quite a bit out there, so it's good to be in here. But it's good to have you guys jumping in. I would ask anyone that's jumping in here right now, share the stream. Just go ahead and share it out to whomever. Make sure if you're not going to be able to engage comment wise, throw up those thumbs or hearts, set up notifications if you would, please, so that we can get future installments. We got plenty of stuff coming up this month. Like I said, we've got tons of things front loaded, and I'm excited and happy to be able to sit here and talk to you today, currently, about women in history, which is fantastic. Carol, David, Sissy, Ruby, Lisa, AJ, Kristen, Carol, Matt, Jeff, man. Veronica, everyone's jumping in here, and I appreciate it, you guys. Again, I ask anyone, I'm going to say it a couple more times, to share the stream. Superior video and photography. I'm going to go ahead and hit up some comments to jump off here. Asked, where have I been? I've been here. I've been around. I haven't been much. I haven't gone anywhere. But you guys have been dedicated, working a full-time job, and having to pay bills, and doing what I do, trying to make sure that I maintain contact with everyone is tough sometimes. So, like I said, we're working through things. Baba, glad you're here. Heather, how are you? Yeah, Carol, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, do you worry about this summer? Okay, here we go. Kiki Gauchard over on YouTube says, do you worry about this summer, or do you think last summer is heading towards something positive? I hope. Okay, this summer, I'm not worried about this summer. I do know that things are already getting a little bit sticky out of Minneapolis and some other places. I don't worry about it too much. I think that we've learned a lot as people, like what we can and can't do, and kind of the limits of what people will tolerate, up to tragic endings in situations like we saw in Kenosha. That being said, I think that people, and I hope that people will be better about how we approach situations moving forward. Because as it sits right now, I think we can all agree that it hasn't worked, because there has been a need for change, and there has been a push for change. The problem is the current of movement got undermined by people that didn't have that focus in mind and meant more to just break things down instead of building things up. And that's the problem, because we can't spend our time destroying things, guys. We got to spend our time being positive contributors to the society that we live in. You know what I mean? We got options though. And I've said it to a couple people recently, they were, talking about the atrocities of our democracy, of the capitalistic system that we operate under. And I legit just pulled up on my phone, Google Maps, and I was like, Canada's only 3 hours away. You could just drive right over the border. It's not that hard. Or work with what we got, which is an incredible situation to make changes with a system that's beautifully in place to do just that. Is it perfect? No. Can we agree that we do need to make changes? Yeah. But that's what we're here to do. So I'm going to answer some more questions from folks moving forward. We got a few little videos that we got set up here to be growing the numbers this summer, Anthony. Yeah. So Anthony says Portland's going to be growing the numbers this summer. Yeah, let's hope that in a positive way. Ellie Mae over on Twitch. What's up to everyone on Twitch? Am I going to be covering any of the George Floyd trial? Yes. Do I plan on just standing out there day to day? No. So we're going to figure out ways to do it. Yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse, I will be covering that. We have I'm kind of more involved in that than I ever wanted to be. And so there's going to be a reason for me to be around the case as it sits. So, so yeah, Carol, I saw that. Yeah, we got some changes that are coming out in Louisville. Saw that too. Again, I'm going to ask that everyone share the feed as we move forward here. Just that's the one thing I ask. You know what I mean? If you're able to contribute in any way to help, the feed, if you're able to help contribute to the stream in any way. Again, everything we do here, equipment and all, is studio driven by contribution. So what's up, Hameen, my guy? How are you over at Raw Topic? Again, there's another one right there. This is my dude, Mr. Phillips. If you guys want to go ahead and check out a show, my guy does some incredible interviews based right there out of Milwaukee. Great guy. I definitely recommend you check his show out. Set that up and set up notifications for that as well. Good seeing you, fam. I definitely look forward to getting back out there, sitting down in studio with you. That being said, another person, not to chomp in on your moment there, bro, but is my guy Corey Elijah. He and I spoke and a little bit back yesterday, and I'm looking forward to getting in studio with him as well. So that area, I got trips planned, y'all. Be out there soon. Yeah, Anthony, if you would, please. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and say what, guys, I'm going to jump into this. Let some more people come. If you guys would share the feed, I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and I've got a few little things that I wanted to go ahead and let play out here. We're going to be paying homage to to the ladies of the world right now. So I'm going to go ahead and let this play out for a minute and let people a chance to jump in here. So if you would, please share the stream, get folks in here from all different platforms, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. Tell your friends to come on over, jump in the comments, be engaged, be part of the community, and let's keep it friendly and healthy and happy. Let's talk about ladies, y'all. And we're back. That just drops off. So did a handful of folks, man. I know it's not our typical situation here, guys. We do have basically we're just going to be kind of I'm preceding the coming weeks. We're going to have some incredible interviews coming up and some people. I'm going to be out in the field a little bit this month too. Keep your eyes peeled for that. So um, there were some videos that I found like moving through the women in history, which I think were pretty incredible. And I mean, we all know that the gender equality is a big issue in the world right now, and we're pushing for change in that direction as well. We're trying to get people to understand that there doesn't need to be a divide anymore. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous that people still see it, but it is there. It exists, and if we don't acknowledge that, then we're perpetuating the problem. So moving forward, I think it's great that we look at where we came from, and some of the women right now, as we're focusing on that throughout history, that have really made some incredible motions. And one of the places you can go here, and I want to go ahead and pull this up for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about here, is let me bring that over here for a second. Super cool spot. It's the National Women's History Museum, and you can go to womenshistory.org to find that online. And here, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here for a second, so you know what I'm talking about here. This one right here, and I'm gonna add this to the stream right here. Cool. So this site right here is super cool, you guys. I spent a lot of time on this the other night, just running through this, and I keep referring back to it. It's just got so many cool, they're virtual exhibits, right? Things you can go through. So, for instance, they have this one on Harriet Tubman that I thought was super cool, and really was, I think, a great way to look at, some of the things that we can do, paying tribute moving forward, but more interactively. If you can't get out, we got COVID, you can't go to museums. Now, not that a lot of people went to museums to begin with. I mean, let's be real about it. I think the only time that I was really excited to go to a museum recently was they had a cool pirate exhibit, and I was like, I gotta check that out. That's pretty badass. But like things like this Harriet Tubman exhibit here, it's a virtual exhibit, which is super cool. And what it does is it showcases here. Let me get it pulled up here better so it's not popping right here. But so it'll tell you the story about, obviously about who Harriet Tubman was, but the way you can navigate this site is super cool. Yeah, you can pull it up right here, boom. But it gives you interactive mapping as well. So it talks about, and I'm probably going to say her name right. Her original name was Araminta Ross before she married a free man with the last name Tubman. Either way, but it's cool. This shows where she was from. So this is Cambridge, Maryland, in Dorchester County. This is where she was born, right? But you can look through what it looks like now, and honestly, it probably looks a lot the same as it did back in 18 in the early 1800s, right? But it's super cool. Like, as the site is pretty amazing. It tells a lot of the history, and it shows a lot of the historical sites that you can really check out right now that showcase what's happening right now. But I guess what it does for me and this cool interaction here is it attaches us to history as it is, right? So we got more of an interactive view of where we're at now and where it was, and we can see that like history didn't exist in a different place, right? Like American history was right here. We can actually walk down the streets that history is made on. I'm looking at this quote. Oh yeah, this was pretty wild. So what they're talking about here in this one is there was a slave that was running from a slave owner, and he was going through that store. Actually, this one right here, this one here, and well, it tells the story here. When she was 12 years old, he told her to help, detain this slave, and she refused. And as the guy was running out the back door, he hurled a 2-pound scale weight, for weighing like flour and stuff, and missed that person, hit her in the head, ended up giving her lifelong ailments where she suffered. But they made her go back, and she didn't have a bed to sleep on. Like I said here, she had to sit at the seat of a loom for a couple days and just bleed and sweat and keep working. She's like, man, it just blows my mind to see, the situations that of these people that, you hear the names, right? They're nostalgic names, but they don't really have a static connection as to who they are in reality, right? Like the life that they really live. So this museum, like I said, it's the womenshistory.org is is a site, but it's a National Women's History Museum. Super cool. And I recommend everyone check it out because it's, like I said, it's cool for me. I found myself getting lost in there for a couple hours, just checking out different stuff. And, but you guys know how I get, man. Like when I'm, when I'm doing any kind of, so I don't do videography, right? Like someone mentioned that. They're like, hey, CJ, like I said in the comments, and I'm sure it was meant as a compliment. They're like, hey, you're a great videographer, but I don't know about this whole philosopher role that you're playing. It's kind of half-assed. And I was like, I don't claim to be either, man. That was rough. You know, it was kind of hurtful on both ends. I was like, damn, man, okay. But I made it very clear. I do not do video production when it comes down to like putting together videos. And I'm going to show you why, because it took me hours to make the little video clip that I put together over on the other side here, just for basically to have content here. Now, we do have interviews that have been done. My sister got on board and was doing some interviews with some women. Like I said, it wasn't so much the women of history, but I really wanted to take a spin and do things a little different and showcase women that are making history. And I think that's important because we look past the fact that most people, you know, as they act the way they do and do what they do in accordance with their views, their ethos, you know, their ideology and beliefs, they don't do it with the intent of making history, right? They're doing it with the intent of usually making change or being a part of something, and then history remembers them. And so I think there's so many things that are happening currently that will definitely, I mean, you guys, we've seen it for this last year. We definitely know that this last year is going to be a part of, you know, America's history for a long time to come. We're going to refer back to it. But people that are involved in that don't realize they're actually making history as they do it. And it's a big deal. And right now, as we talk about women, there's, I found, man, I'm going to show you guys this, this little poet. For real, guys, I get caught up in some of these things that, you know, that that I pull up. Granted, we're coming off the wings of Black History Month as well, right? So there was like an overlap. I found myself looking at a lot of different stuff, and unfortunately, we weren't able to get enough put together to really celebrate everything we wanted to. But we're moving in that direction, guys. So it's a new format for us, you know. So we're working on it, and what we got here is a video file. Here, let's do that. Plus, I'm not the best at navigating a studio here. So this little girl kills it, man. And I think this is a poem that I think drives right to the heart of it all, man. Let's see if we can get this to play for us here.
Hey, Black Child by County Color. Hey, Black Child, do you know who you are? Who you really are? Do you know you can be where you want to be if you try to be what you can be? Hey, Black Child, do you know where you're going? Where you're really going? Do you know you can learn what you want to learn if you try to learn what you can learn? Hey, Black Child, do you know you are strong? I mean really strong? Do you know you can do what you want to do if you try to do what you can do? Hey, Black Child, be what you can be, learn what you must learn, do what you can do, and tomorrow your nation will be what you want it to be.
Killed it, right? Killed it. I love it. I love. See, I used to. I mean, I found myself growing through a lot of changes back when I first moved to Seattle when I was a younger person, doing a lot of spoken word poetry, and it was cool to see that develop. But I love seeing some of the youth poetry slams and some of the young poets that come out because, man, their words are just like they come out like razor blades or molasses, one of the two. Either way, they get right to you, right? Like, and it makes a huge impact. With, you know, an understanding of what they're really feeling, you know, in the world that they're living in, which is a big deal because it's not the world we live in, you know, like as a grown adult, the world that our youth live in is very different, you know what I mean? And it's tough because I think we spend a lot of time looking past that, you know, we don't really, and this doesn't just apply to children, right? Like this applies across the board. We don't live in the world of the people around us. You know what I mean? And we talk about that. People of different ethnicities, race, culture, creed, gender, Like, we don't live in their world, right? Like, you'll never really truly understand what they live and how they live, right? Like, we can see it from a distance, but to be a part of what they're a part of isn't the reality of how we exist, right? So I think we need to accredit a lot of the things that are happening to the fact that we don't have answers, which is why there's a lot of maybe chaos in the world and a lot of confusion, because people aren't looking to get answers. I think a lot of time people have like neglected their desire to understand the people around them. And that being said, they spend more time kind of avoiding people and kind of shunning people. But then what do we do with the things we don't understand, right? We treat it with anger, you know. And unfortunately, if I'm working hard on that, because there's a huge amount of things I don't understand. So I spend a lot of time trying to figure that out. But that being said, we do have a couple of things I want to show you guys. There was a small video that I put together. It's not the best, I'm not gonna lie, but it's the best effort I can make with what I had and how I'm doing things. Bam, AJ, you hit it on the head. We can empathize or sympathize, but yeah, I think it's the other way around. Yeah, we can sympathize, but not truly empathize. That's how that works. But on the page, it's exactly true, though. You know, there's one level where we can say, hey, I feel what you're going through. I don't fully understand it. You know what I mean? I think that's a big deal, because women's suffrage is a reality. You know what I mean? And there's been a lot of things that we look past, that we forget are a part of the history we live in, and we forget about it because it's history, right? Yeah, I know you. Yeah, we got you, AJ. You're on the same page. But it's with that being said, it doesn't mean it didn't happen. But a lot of times, if it didn't happen to us, or if it didn't happen in a way where it affected us, we don't acknowledge it, right? And it doesn't take that away from the people. It takes away from the people that actually did experience and go through that part of history. And I think that's what we need to make some changes, is working better on collectively acknowledging the fact that other people have gone through things that, like I said, we can't ever fully understand. You know, we can be sympathetic, but not empathetic. Suggs and Spice, what's up? I'm back. Yeah, I haven't gone anywhere. Just been busy. Been real busy. A lot of people aren't getting notifications. I think a lot of times, I mean, I can tell by the numbers right now that a lot of people aren't getting notifications right now either. Because normally we'd have at least a handful of a couple hundred people in here, but you know, we've only got 100 people maybe, I think, which isn't that many. But hey, you know, whatever. We got some folks in here. That's good. Here's an interesting one. There was a lot of women firsts, and I think that's pretty cool. That I saw, like, back in the early, you know, the first female police officer, Mary Owens, is one. The first woman in space, Valentina Tereshkova, was one. And that was during the Cold War. We were doing the big fights. You know, we were space fighting with Russia, trying to see who could get up there first. And they trumped us. They went up and they said, not only did they made some motions. I think we beat them in the space race, but they got a lady in space before us, you know. But I would recommend you guys take a second to look at some of the things that we look right past. One of the I thought was really cool is, and I think I threw it in this little video montage that I put together, and I'm gonna go and throw that up right now. And oops, sorry, boom. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I just navigating the studio is not the easiest thing to do here, guys. So give me a second. We're gonna go ahead and boom. Here we go. And we'll jump into it here.
Human rights must be applied to all human beings, regardless of race or creed or color. When they are applied, it will mean a growing understanding among the peoples of the world. One of the fundamental human rights is freedom for the individual. Freedom can never be absolute because it must be consistent with the freedom of others.
I'm asking you about how you plan to live your life every day How are you going to respond when you don't get that job you had your heart set on? For all of you who are going to be teachers, what are you going to do if the students in your class next year just don't respond to your lessons? For all of you going into business, how will you react when your boss gives you a goal that feels way too high? See, these are the moments that define us. Not the day you get the promotion, not the day you win Teacher of the Year, but the times that force you to claw and scratch and fight just to get through the day. The moments when you get knocked down and you're wondering whether it's even worth it to get back up.
Tell them, Michelle.
Those are the times when you've got to ask yourself, who am I going to be?
It was my job to fall madly in love with me first. That no one was going to show me how to love me. That I have to show not only me how to love me, but I had to show other people how to love me.
Yo, take a minute and check out Lisa Nichols, man. If you guys, like right now, this is the first time ever hearing about her. Incredible speaker, just beautiful, like really, really profound.
That you are the first example of what loving you looks like, and the way you love you is the way the world's gonna love you. So when you say, I don't need rest, then we believe you. When you say, no, don't worry about me, I'm fine, we believe you. When you say, no, I don't need help, we believe you. When you say, I'm fine by myself, we believe you. So here's what I realized: words are power. Words speak life. Words, your life is a physical manifestation of the conversation going on in your head, and it's a physical manifestation of the words that are falling across your lips. And if you want to create a better life, design a better conversation. If you want to design a better conversation, think a better thought, not about them, but first about you. And if you can feel it right now, something stirring in your soul, just that little something, you can't even describe it, then you're still in the game.
Dear friends, on the 9th of October 2012, the Taliban shot me on the left side of my forehead. They shot my friends too. They thought that the bullet would silence us, but they failed. And out of that silence came thousands of voices. The terrorists thought that they would change my aims and stop my ambitions. But nothing changed in my life. Weakness, fear, and hopelessness died. Strength, power, and courage was born.
Well, like I said, it was a short little video. It's ridiculous how much time it took me to put to put that little clip together. Having to rip and clip and pull and do all that, it was ridiculous. It was stupid. It's stupid how much I don't know how to do when it comes to doing this part of it. I love being out in the field, cracking off interviews and doing what I do, but it's tough to it's tough to get to dial this in to make it, engaging and entertaining for you guys. So for those that are here watching, I appreciate it. Either way. But if anyone's got anything, so what I was hoping would happen here is I really wanted to have people reach out, send me contact info from their family, from the women in their life, grandparents, grandchildren, mothers, aunts, daughters, and everything else. Any other title that people have that I might be missing. Thought the ceiling was collapsing, man. It was someone rolling there was like a dumpster outside or something. I was like, oh, that's not good. It's all coming down. We almost had a whole different kind of show right there. But if you guys would send me in, hey, DJ Tesseract over on Twitch. Good looking out. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much for that. Appreciate you very much. And again, these are ways you guys can help with the feed. So like I said, moving forward, I just wanted to go ahead and give a little teaser here of some of the stuff we're going to be doing throughout the rest of the month. And some of the other things we're going to be doing moving forward with, it's just in the wall. No, yeah, I hope not. You better not be. My dog is floating around here somewhere. I do have this like space thing going behind me here. What do you guys think of that? It's okay. Very. Oh, it sounds like he's getting into some ruckus outside. But we got a lot of stuff coming up, guys. like I said, we got some cool interviews coming up. There are going to be protests that I'll be covering. And I got to tell you guys again, I'm going to preamble it right now for all of the live interactions that I have. Any chance? So before I do that, you guys, part of me getting out there, it comes down to really being able to fund the trips to get out and cover these things. And it is generated by, this stream is 100% supported by you, the viewer. All of the donations, contributions, anything that comes in, that's what makes it all possible. So getting out and doing more in the field is something that's it's kind of predicated by my ability to go ahead and make that happen. So I appreciate all of you guys for contributions and moving forward and helping make travel possible, and being a part of making the process happen here. So I appreciate y'all. And again, there's ways you can donate a penny, a dollar, whatever it might be. It all makes a difference. It all feeds into making this happen. So thank you very much. And that being said, so yeah, what I'm going to tell you though is as protests come up, like I really, the issue that I have with covering a lot of the protests right now is that when I get out there, it becomes the story isn't about what the protest might be not all situations, but in a handful of them. And it turns into just the fact that, like, I'm out there, like, oh man. And you see that in situations, even Minneapolis, you're watching this all over the place right now, where they turn on people that have a camera and like, oh no, you're not allowed to be here. And we all know who I'm talking about, which is ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous because it's happening out there and we want to see it. And you wouldn't do it unless, if it was all secretive, you'd be more secretive about it. But we want to see what's going on and people want to see it. So it's tough because you want to get out there. I want to get out there and be a part of, like what we're talking about right now, history as it's being made. But it's difficult because I'm not going to make myself part of the news. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be the story. Plus, my fuse has gotten pretty short. My fuse has gotten incredibly short, and I'm working that through. Like I said, I went back into training, to kind of work out my aggression. But I find myself like clenched fist and kind of just like hot-blooded walkaways. But I want to make sure that when I get out there, we're going to be covering what's happening and seeing what's going on and giving you guys a chance to see it with me. So it's a big deal. We got a lot of stuff happening out in the world right now. And we're going to get into that moving forward. We're going to be getting into that. We got the Derek Chauvin case happening right now out in Minneapolis. Obviously, that's a big deal. Stuff still happening in Portland. We got a Rittenhouse case is cresting here, and things are coming up right away. It just keeps going. So we do have things that are coming up that I think we have to prepare ourselves for, honestly. Emotionally, we gotta prepare ourselves. We gotta open up a little bit to the fact that we're gonna hear a lot of differing viewpoints. I saw that the Rittenhouse. There's still gonna be preamble stuff going on. Marvelous Marv, now with the Rittenhouse case, that one's gonna keep getting pushed out. I think they're trying to avoid the overlap with the Chauvin case right now, for just that reason. And they have so many different people. So the thing with the Rittenhouse case, which is interesting. That one weird girl says per MSM. We don't really know exactly what's going to happen there. What they say, again, mainstream media. Ellie Mae, I appreciate that. I definitely won't. But what we get with mainstream media a lot of times is, unfortunately, not the most concise information, right? So we hear a lot, but we're not exactly certain about how relevant it is to the reality of things that are happening. So I'm hoping that as information comes through, we'll be able to better present that and be a part of it as it goes down. So we'll see what happens, though. But like I said, there's plenty of stuff happening. There's plenty of stuff that's coming up. Yeah, Judy, it's good to be on here. Eric, you hit that on the head. Yeah, Rittenhouse, with all the antics when you get out. Honestly, I get that feeling, like when he was out in that bar and he's like, I'm out, getting a chance to go out and be out there, right? But like, you got to appreciate, man, like it affected me deeply being so involved in that situation, like watching it happen and being close enough to see muzzle flash and seeing blood and being a part of that. Like, it still affects me. I would imagine that kid, because he's a kid, has got to be going through some stuff, man. And I hope that he's addressing it. I really hope, because I know I'm having to, you know. That being said, man, like moving into his trial and whatnot, like if it doesn't go in his favor, he's gonna get grown up real quick, you know, because he's facing like the most severe charges some of the most severe charges you can possibly face right now. But there's, like I said, there's going to be a ton of different views on that moving forward. So there's going to make a lot of polarizing of people's views and opinions on things, and that's going to make for, again, a lot of controversy with people moving forward. And I hope that we can learn to get along in that and not fight with each other about our different viewpoints on things, because it doesn't define. Here's the thing, and I've had people tell me otherwise. When we celebrate men around the world, you're setting Nasta Strip. You're setting yourself up for some blowback on that one, because I think anyone, like some of the women here, would be like, "We celebrate men every day," which is why they have Women in History Month, you know. But we celebrate everybody. Becky, as of right now, I'm not being called to testify in the case. I've already been involved enough with like statements and stuff, you know, all of that stuff. So, you know, moving forward, there's definitely going to be, more involvement. I just hope I'm not having to sit in front of a court. You know, I mean, there's got plenty of, video. Stephanie Filster, who are you? That's my GM, y'all. She's my mod supreme, my right hand man. Steph is my go-to, the lifeblood behind that pumps through the veins of CJTV. Someone asked right here, Carol, who are the women in my life? I've been really blessed, y'all. Seriously, in my life, I've had some really incredibly influential women that have been a part of my upbringing and my rearing. My mom, moving from close out, I mean, just incredible. Like, but growing up, man, we butted heads. I mean, I was always, tight with my mom, but we butted heads quite a bit as I got into my adolescence and just fought terribly. And then when I became a man, when I finally like blossomed out and grew out, hey, Veronica, Mod Squad, of course, absolutely, without doubt, my Mod Squad, top of the list. But I realized that the wisdom that she had to impart was probably just more frustrating than anything, because I wasn't willing to listen to it. I didn't want to hear it. I was like, nah, you can't tell me anything. I got the world figured out. And then I found myself quoting my mother more than anybody on the planet. Like, legit, you guys, I find myself regurgitating her words all the time. Which is where I refer to her as my Dolly Mama, right? I was like, all right, that's just, it applies, right? And so but it's been a blessing, because she's the patience and like the overall, like, enduring to the end with me. Like, I've taken her, you guys, legit, like, women, mothers. I'm going to talk directly about mothers right now. There's no end to the amount of love that goes into their children with what I've experienced, because I know that the things that I've put my mother through are just terrible, man. Like, just the worst kind of anxiety. I mean, not to mention my reckless lifestyle for all intent and purpose, making that call like, hey mom, you need to sit down. I just got stabbed a handful of times, or I was just in this crazy accident, or then I went through some dark times there. Having getting that call, your son's in a little bit of trouble right now, and I made some mistakes, and but she stayed vigilant in her love, and I think that it was patience in her love. It was a connection through her desire to just to reassure that I had to go through what I was going through, and no one could do it for me. I had to just experience my life, and she was always there just to kind of pick me up when I fell down, even if she knew it was going to happen. Even if and looking back in time, I can remember plenty of times where, like, she was like, well, like, gave that look where I was like, yeah, you knew that I was going to crash and burn terribly on that one. You knew it without a question. Like, you knew 100% that I was on a fiery descent, but you had to let me experience it. You know what I mean? Had to let me go through it. And I did, and I'm a better person for it, but only through the fact that, like, she was able to carry me through a lot of times, just by knowing that she was going to be there, you know, coming out of the other end. And that's a big deal. And I was talking about that this morning with our supporter group, which I encourage everyone, come over and become a supporter, guys. It helps this process. It feeds into Chris Ritter. It's good to see you too. It feeds into, Glenn, what's happening? It feeds into this. It helps make this forward planning possible. It's $4.99 a month. It's cost of a cup of coffee, you know, basically. But it does help drive the stream. Sorry, I was just addressing one of the comments over here. But yeah, so the just having the woman there. Thank you, Megan. Having a woman presence in my life. My dad, you know, he had his issues too. Loved me dearly, but had his own issues, which I had to experience and appreciate as I got older. As a man, I was able to appreciate that those are just the falterings of a human being, right? Those are just the things that we go through, right? And it doesn't change. I mean, you try, do your best when you have children, I suppose. When you have a family, you have more responsibility, more people relying on you. And the situation that my dad went through, you know, I had to just love him through it. You know, and which I did, and he loved me through it. And we got to a point where I'm glad now to know that I can appreciate that those relationships, while they may not be exactly what you'd want them to be at the time, they might be exactly what you need, you know. And so, like with my mother, maybe it wasn't ideal at the time for, you know, optics, but it definitely was what was needed, you know what I mean? Because she was the long arm of the law. My mom, whew, like you put her on a bad side, like, I tell you what, like if a short fuse for me is one thing, my mom, forget about it. That lady, man, you piss off Mama, you know, Mama Halliburton, you're in trouble. Like she got a quick backhand. That lady was like, you find out, you go ahead. You know, I don't want to find out, Mom. I'm good. I'm good at being bad. But I'm gonna do it from a distance. I don't want you to get your hands on me, because I would have got the ass whooping that I deserved. Which I did regularly, which earned, like I said, it was earned though. And I think that I wish that there was, like, I would love to put my mother in front of so many of the kids that are out there right now that are causing ruckus. You know what I mean? Like, Mom, you need to give them the talking to that you gave me, because I think that it would have learned them up a little bit, you know? And if she gave them like the fear of God that she put in me, like it would change the outcome of a lot of things in the world right now. I guarantee you that. Guarantee it. Because like I said, my mom's a beast. She's a beast. Sorry, I'm trying to hydrate. Oh, the hydration challenge. That's another thing. I'll be dropping something in here. Somebody challenged me to, like, get my hydration up. I was like, all right, cool. That's no problem. Okay? But what you need to do is take your body weight, cut it in half, and drink that in ounces each day. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm 250, which means I got 125 ounces of water I got to drink a day. So I went and got water bottles. Don't hate me for that. I usually have my little tanker here, right? But and it just for like the breakdown. I line myself up with 160 ounces, so I have a few extra just in case. So 10 water bottles. I suppose I could have done 9 or 8. It would have been just good. Either way. But I tried doing it the other day. Couldn't do it. I made it through like 4, and I was just peeing like every 10 minutes. It was ridiculous. Like, my body wasn't ready for that kind of hydration flush. So I'm working on it. I'm trying to get as much liquid into me as possible. And so, which is what my mother would have told me to tie it back in. You drink your water and eat your vegetables. So yeah, definitely my mother, big person in my life. My sister, honestly, really big influence in my life. Always has been. She's always been like my best friend growing up, and she really initiated a lot of my creativity as well. I think that within siblings. Especially the dynamic of how we were raised, you know, like I was the youngest, she was the middle child, made my older brother. So she was the peacekeeper, right? Like, we all played our roles to a T. You know, I was the entertainer, the jester, the clown. My brother played his brooding older brother role to a T, and my sister rolled her responsibilities as the middle child like a champ. And but the dynamic that we had was really close. We've always been very close, and it's important that, like I mentioned before, that we navigate the relationships with our our loved ones the same way we would as if it's someone that we're in love with, right? And I mean that by saying it's not just boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives um, that need the TLC in a relationship. It's the other people that we say I love you to, that you got to spend time nurturing those relationships as well. And my sister's always been very good about um, nurturing the relationship, and it really showed me a lot growing up about patience and about enduring. Um, and we went through a period there where like we didn't even speak, and it was hard. It was really hard for me. Like I said, I went through some bad times, and we had a period there, a couple of years, I didn't even talk to my sister, and it was because at that time I didn't realize what a major impact and influence she was in my life until that's removed, and then you realize that you're on your own, and some of the things that kind of fueled your train, when that's taken away, you realize how quick it is to lose steam. So, and the creativity too. My writing, she was always big into writing, and that always inspired me to want to write. I've always wanted to play piano because of her. I've never been able to. I pretend I can play the beginning of one Phantom of the Opera song, and that's it. Even though we grew up with a piano in the house, right? So, yeah, definitely my sister, my aunt as well. These people that have been very close. Like my aunt's just like a creative as all get out. Like I grew up luckily in a house where we had not a lot. We didn't have, we didn't have like a vacation home. We didn't have like an RV. We didn't have that kind of stuff, right? What we had was a lot of creative people around us. My aunt was so good at inspiring us to like find the magic in things, right? So like we did ceramics a lot, like pottery, like ceramics. Like we would pour our own clay into these molds, right? Like legitimate big clay, like molds. They were massive. Bind them up. My dad was in the military, so we would take those to the military base, Fort Lewis, and they had a kiln there, and we'd put them in the kiln and they'd fire them up, and then it was so cool because remember like dropping them off was one thing, but going and picking them up, we'd have these super awesome like glass, like clay, like sculptures that she showed us how to paint these things. We had to like sand them, file them down, and get everything, just take the seams off them, and so we did a lot of like homemade gifts, right? That was a big deal. Sewing, she showed me how to sew at a young age, which I fell in love with. Like one of the best gifts I got as a kid, when I was 13, I got a Singer sewing machine, and from my aunt, and then I got all this material from my grandmother. And so when I was like 13, 14, I was making clothes. So I was like the guy who was hustling, designing his own clothes, and like all my homies had like our signature line, which was like me just ripping stitching stuff, and like making my own like look. I was skateboarding at the time, so I wanted to make like cool looking skater clothes, and but I was doing it, and it felt cool to be in the beginning of creating. Then we started our own little clothing line, the whole EBC. My boy Jake Hafer, Justin Novotny, Clayton Kruger, Jeremy Larkin, Nick Allard. They were all part of we had Kerry Sorger, all these people that were part. Mungaro, people that were part of like the original EBC, which and if I'm missing anybody, I apologize if you were watching, or if you watch this later, you know who you are, and I love you guys. But it was the squad, man. And we started this clothing line. I was like, oh well, I kind of know how to do this stuff. Like my aunt showed me how to do it, so she was always a big part. We always went on these cool nature hikes, and she'd always find like really cool ways to be engaged in different things, different activities. So the immediate family that I had was always good. And I had my grandmother was the same way on my mom's side. My grandmother on my dad's side was probably the most sage and humble and just like honorable women that I've ever met in my life. Like just she was the quintessential like bar setting grandmother of all times. Like there was times where we would every time we went over there was like fresh baked bread. That smell is my grandmother, right? And she would do this thing where she would listen to you, but she would hold her lip, and she would just listen. And that was her way of not talking, interrupting, or wanting to overly engage while you work something out with her, And she was just a great sounding board. But I mean, she would do things like that. Like, all right, if you're having issues, you talk to grandma, and there'd be a baked item. We'd start baking something. And for that reason, I love cooking. I've always loved baking things and doing that. And And so with with uh with her, it was always this awesome opportunity to like, do something like cook something, bake. It was baking. It wasn't cooking, it was baking. And working out your problems. So every time I go into like a coffee shop, I smell any like fresh pastries. I'm always like, I got to talk to you about some issues I'm having in life, y'all. There's always some poor barista that's like, I'm not a bartender, man. You're not here to drop your life issues on me. But so yeah, luckily I had some really powerful women that were around me, my immediate family. Um, I've had some women that have been a part of my romantic life that have been really influential in a lot of ways. Uh, some have led to serious heartache, but there's also been those that have kind of inspired me to want to be a better me. You know what I mean? To be a better man, to step up to the plate, and to be the person that I can be, and that I needed to be for the structure of a relationship. When you're getting to that level. So there's definitely been some women in my life that have been really powerfully involved in the cultivation of CJ. So to all those ladies, I love you. I appreciate you. But beyond the family, man, there has been women teachers. I've had some just some incredible teachers that really took the time. That really in elementary school, I remember I had one or two that my fifth grade teacher was just Mrs. Walliver, incredible, just loving, really just cared about the students. You know what I mean? Just really genuinely was someone who appreciated young people and wanted to see us all, do things in life. And she was always excited about things we did. I remember that carried with me through school. After fifth grade, I realized that I think I kind of gravitated towards female teachers at that point, because I think that I was just like, I felt like there was a nurturing person there. You know what I mean? So I always had coaches, and they were like the hard asses. I had my football coaches, my baseball coaches, soccer coaches that were like, cracking the whip, like, oh, he's a tough kid, we're gonna be tough on him. So, man, you don't gotta be so tough on me. You can hug me, man, it's all right. but the women in my life have always been really incredible. So yeah, there's looking down the line, man. Speaking of like teachers, so one of my someone who I shared a lot of my life with, a woman by the name of Ellen. She actually is was a big part of cultivating a lot of understanding in life, and a lot of things that needed to be done to make me a better individual. So that was important. I just really appreciate that. Even going in through church, man. Like I remember growing up and having, women that that they were just so incredibly like loving, and I think that's luck. I've been, and I'll tell you guys, I've been incredibly blessed that I've had the opportunity to have people around me that were so full of love, because I think that that's something that we can see a vacancy in that in the world today. But I know as a young individual, that was always something that was readily available to me. And there might have been a lot of issues on the side. The peripherals might have had a lot of problems. But the center focus, there was always love, and there was always affirmations. My mom, man, actually, one of the things she used to do with us in the morning is we would do our daily affirmations, which sounds, looking back, it was kind of, if we had friends stay the night or whatever, it was embarrassing. But my mom, she's a traditionalist, man. She's all about building tradition. And yeah, America First, Patriot Amber. Yeah, grandmas are good at that, doing the church pinch. I used to get that a lot too. Pay attention. Back off, grandma. Stop cheating at Monopoly. And Kelly, Leaper, my buddy. Anyway, so yeah, but love was readily available. And I remember my mom, these affirmations she would do were pretty, I mean, like we'd do our family prayer, whatever it was, and then we'd say a personal affirmations. I can't remember how it went entirely, but it was like, I love myself, I believe in myself, I trust myself, and it was like we would go over these personal affirmations, and that was a big deal. Now looking back, because I found myself wanting to channel mantras. I find myself doing that a lot. Like when I'm going through some times, I get to that mode where I'm like, all right, like one of the ones I had was I'm better today than I was yesterday, and I'll be better tomorrow than I am today. Like in those times when you're feeling, like just broken, when you're like, man, this is as bad as it can get. It's like, just remember that you're moving, and if you don't remember that you are moving, start moving. You know what I mean? Push in a direction, because every day you're getting closer to something. You're getting closer to something better, and further away from something bad. As long as that's your mindset. Your positive projection trajectory. But I think legitimately, like those are the lessons that my mother taught me, and I hope that people in the world right now will carry that out with them, and doing things like roughing themselves in the direction of, if nothing, just embracing with love. It doesn't have to be such anger and animosity so often, right? Like we got opportunities now to. We don't have to agree, but we can love each other. You know what I mean? I put a quote up on my page the other day, and that's kind of what it talks about. Like just because we love somebody doesn't mean we have to agree with them, or even really like them. We can love them, because there's plenty of people that I don't like at all. Like I legitimately just genuinely dislike some people, but I love them, and I'll tell them I love them. Absolutely. But they're also on a short list. You know what I mean? If they step out of line, but there's very few on that list, but there is a list. Just to be very clear, there is a list, and I'm sure you guys got a list too. Like those people that are like, they're teetering on the edge, right? They're right on the edge of getting the spike, whatever you want to call it. So let me tighten this up real quick. This thing keeps sliding down. Yeah, I want to be able to hear myself, and hopefully you guys can hear me too. So yeah, grandma cheating, man. My mom is the worst board. Like when it comes down to like cheating at games, my mom's legit is the worst, absolute worst. Like cheats at every game she plays. Not even playing. I've talked to her. You guys, before when I was doing the Valentine's Day deal, we talked to my mom for a minute, and I remember talking to her a little bit about cheating, and she was like, she tried to like use it as a point of reference too. The faux head, CJ. That's what's up, Adora. I hear you. But yeah, man, my mom, I tell you what. But like I said, I've been blessed with beautiful women in my life. You know what I mean? And the opportunity to really have some incredibly positive surrounding of estrogen, and I'm happy about that. You know what I mean? Because really, there's so many different I'm not going to jump into patriarchy and all that, but I had a dad that opened up to love as well. So it was good that I had a father that allowed that to be a part of the home, and he was never one to shy away from letting us know how much he loved us as well. So I think that was the dynamic that no matter how much my parents weren't able to make it work between them, one of the dynamics that did come through was that they provided a safe place for each other to give love to their children. And that was a big deal, because our house was always a place where, people liked being, because there's always that feeling, you know what I mean? And we're always embraced with not only having to do chores. If you came to our house, you were doing chores without a doubt. Like you're doing chores, but you also had people that were going to hug you. Like we're huggers, man. Like you're going to get broken in. If you don't like people touching you, tough. Our house was definitely, you're going to get all wrapped up. It's going to happen. So, so it's good. It's good to have the dynamic that I had, and I'm, like I said, I'm really blessed. And that's what we're talking about today. Is just a preamble to what we got coming up, which is we're just celebrating women in history, and the women that are making history, and a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world right now. I think it's really cool to know that I've had a chance to meet some really incredibly prolific individuals, women in the world right now, in the protest community as well. A lot of really incredibly strong voices. That it's sad to me to see that a lot of those individuals aren't around anymore. You don't see a lot of them anymore. But there were some voices that were really incredible to hear, and I really liked. I liked knowing that I had access to these people, because it was And honestly, I think a lot of the protests, you see a lot of women leaders in the protests, and not just, I don't want to say the protests. I'm going to say in the push for acknowledgement for different changes that are being made and need to be made in the world. So it's been an incredible year, and I hope that people are able to keep embracing the move for equality, right? So that's about all I had for you guys today. Not a lot else that I wanted to cover. Just wanted to let you guys know that we got a lot of stuff coming up, and we're going to be moving in the right direction with a lot of things we're going to be covering. I will be out in the field. If you're able to help out, you guys, at the end of it all, right here is the way you can do that, right across the bottom here, the ticker tape. If you're able to go ahead and contribute in any way, it's greatly appreciated. And we are looking to get out and do some travel, and that'll help make that happen here in the coming couple of weeks. So I love y'all, and I appreciate everyone here. I appreciate my mod squad. Hey, DJ Tesseract again, showing up with them bits, man. That's what's up. I appreciate that so much, y'all. That really makes a huge difference. Thank you. And just know that we got stuff happening, guys. We've got a lot of opportunities here to do things positively and constructively. And I'm really blessed, and I want to make it clear that in all things, gratitude is a big part of my life. I've got a lot of incredible women that are part of this, what you're watching right now, this CJTV, and it's just a real blessing to know that I've got such incredible, people. They're willing to volunteer their time and be a part of this, and that believe in not just me, but in the process of eliciting change, and hopefully inspiring people to do better and be better. And so thank you for everyone that's a part of the show, for all my mods, Stephanie and everyone else, my sister, and everyone that's contributed. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. And keep your eyes out, set up notifications, ! Notify is what you want to do. And I'm sure one of my mods can go ahead and post a link in there, just so you know what that looks like. And I'm not exactly sure. I think it's the same over on YouTube. Twitch, I'm not sure, but you guys set up notifications. We got stuff coming up you're not going to want to miss out on. And so, Rita, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled and your ears open, because we have things that are going to be coming up, and you guys are going to be involved as well. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate that you're. Hey, Mary Shevlin, thank you for that super sticker. Thank you very much. These are things that super cool ways you can be involved on YouTube, and. So Marie, thank you very much for that. And then if you guys want to set up notifications, this is how you do it. Just boom, ! Notify. And I'm going to ask if anybody has, Marie, thank you very much. And everyone else has been on board here, that's making these contributions, you guys. It's huge. It makes them, I hope you understand. The hype train is cool too over on Twitch. You guys are able to help make that happen. That's really cool. We're gonna be, doing a lot of stuff, and I really appreciate you guys being a part of this. And I say that a lot, but Jennifer, we'll see you later. Anyway, lost my train of thought on that one. But stay tuned. Set up notifications, jump in on that, be a part of the notification team, because there's a lot of stuff coming up. And if you have people, and we got a couple weeks left in the month, and we're going to be doing a lot. Hey, Kate, thank you very much over there. You guys, here you go. And this right here, Kate Veer, if you would, Kate, go ahead and put up a link for your stream, because I know you're on there pretty regularly, and you got a lot of stuff happening, and you're covering a lot of the political things that are happening in the world, and we ran into each other in the field. And I'm more than happy to go ahead and plug your stream. So yeah, thank you for that hype train. If that was you making that happen, you're amazing. Twitch, you guys are killing it, man. I love it. I love all you guys over there on the Twitch side doing things, because it's not like our typically celebrated side of things, right? But we got a handful of folks in the Twitch crews, our level 4 hype train, going through it, just stoking the engine, just feeding it in there, man. It's incredible. Not that I understand a lot of what that means, but I know it's a big deal. But you guys, thank you so much for driving for putting the fuel in the tank on that one. But I'm going to go ahead and put it up here so you guys know it is CJ at CJTV.LIVE. Boom. This is that's my email, CJ at CJTV.live. If you've got ladies in your life that have been influential, that have been level 5 hype training coming, we're almost there. Just doot, doot. Your daughter would disagree. Well, that's part of being a mom, and that's just the love that you get. But if you have anybody in your life that you feel is a voice that a woman in your life, younger, older, it doesn't matter, that you feel would be a powerful voice for people to hear, please, and I say this a lot, and I genuinely mean it, I want you guys to involve yourselves in the community. Reach out to them first off, make sure they're okay with it, and then send me contact information, and we can do an interview. And I really feel like there's a lot of, hey, there we go. This individual right here, you guys. Check out over on Twitch, and I believe you're on multiple different platforms as well, Kate. So if you would, please, okay, well, we'll send me a DM, and we'll go ahead and we'll put it on the page. I'll post it up for you. If you can't put in a link, just type it in the comments here. That'd be great. Level 5. There we go. We did it. Level 5. You guys, we hit the level 5 hype train. Killing it. Everyone that doesn't know Twitch is like, I have no idea what that means. Not a clue. But that means we're making moves. Just Twitch. Okay, on Twitch. Go ahead, please put it up here so we can go ahead and plug the show. Definitely want to do that. So like I was saying, I really want you guys to know that I genuinely want you involved in the program. If you, like I said, a daughter, a mother, a grandmother, grandchild, aunt, whatever it is, women in the world right now that you feel, even if it's someone that you just know, you know what I mean? A person that is in your world, in your sphere, and you feel like they would be a powerful voice. I would hope that you would feel comfortable reaching out and allowing me to get them on the show and let them share their story. And we've got a couple more weeks. There's plenty of time to do this. Yeah, right, AJ. I have no idea what the level 5 is, but congratulations. We did it. We have arrived. We made level 5. We made it. We arrived. So yeah, please, you guys, hit me up. Email me. Even if it's you yourself, if you feel like there's something you want to share with the world, the community here, hit me up. Let me know, and we could pull you on the stream. We could talk about it. We can make. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to interview you. We'll set up. What we can do? We'll do it in person. We're not too far away from each other. And here we go. Boom. That's where you can check out Kate right there at twitch.tv/KATEVIR. That's Victor Indigo Roger on twitch.tv. And that's the only place that you can actually follow Kate is on Twitch. So if you're not on Twitch right now, something to keep in mind, guys. You can, if you have an Amazon account, you get a free subscription through the Amazon. I think that's still running right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's a really fun, interactive way for you to be involved with the chat and with just kind of the interactive play that we have here in the studio is great. So if you guys are on YouTube or Facebook, swing on over to Twitch. Super cool community. Everyone over there is awesome, and it's just a different vibe. You know what I mean? It's a chance to be involved in the chat differently, and it's just a good kick. You know what I mean? Everyone over there is super cool. So Tammy, thank you for being on point over there on Twitch. You kill it. You really do crush it on my Twitch squad. So thank you very much. Very informed residents. I like that. The VIR. Okay. So for the Kate VIR, it stands for very informed resident. With an S. Resident. So okay, so yeah, the Amazon special is running for Twitch. So yeah, you guys come on over, you get a free sub. And we can be a part of the hype trains and stuff like that. Yeah, so yeah, for real, marvelous, Marvin. Thank you everyone for helping us get to that level 5 on the hype train. That's very cool. We're gonna be doing more stuff. And typically with people that are like watching streams, doing these streams, like, they'll be watching a video, there'll be something else happening. Start with my jam. It might be. We might have some stuff we're going to be checking out coming up here soon. Rita, thank you. See you soon. Yeah, man. AJ, you're right. Does need its own. So yeah, here's some stuff you can do over on. They're like these emotes that you can set up over on Twitch, and you can be involved. You make your own, and So, who's in the picture frame behind me? Where are we at here? Boom, boom. Megan, are you talking about this one right here, Megan? What do you get when you get to level 12? I don't even know. Flea market, floppy disk. I got no idea. We got to get there, and then once we get there, then the whole world will find out. But that picture over there is my best friend Emil. That was in Santa Barbara. We were down there at it was like a reggae, like it was like a reggae. We were down there visiting a girlfriend of mine at the time. My best friend and I, we just made the drive and drove down, surprised her, and then we ended up going out to the club was really cool. It was a reggae club, but at the same time it had projections on all the walls of like the Nintendo and whatnot. And you could play video games on like a 12-foot tall projection against other people, but it was a blast. We had a really good time. But yeah, that's my guy Emil, who's been with me, man. Like we've been like best friends since we were probably 11 years old. So it's been a long time. And again, like one of those dudes went through a lot. His mother, man, big shout out. That's one that kind of snuck past me right there. Vicky Rowland, God rest her soul, an incredible woman, just a beautiful salt of the earth. She was one of our soccer coaches, and every single person that knew Vicky, you knew that you were going to get a lesson in life, and you were going to get love. So big shout out to not just the memory of Vicky Rowland, but to anyone else in the world out in the Yelm area that was impacted by Vicky. I think you all know what I'm talking about. I think that if we could have more people speak up that came from that school of thought, that school of love and education, we'd all be better off, man. Yeah, a beautiful woman. So yeah, that's my boy Emil behind me up there, and his mom, Vicky Rowland, who passed away within just the last couple of years. Just an incredible woman, big part of my life as well. Just taught me some lessons, edgy, some real edgy lessons early on that I was probably not prepared for at the time, but they definitely rang true and carried through. So it was incredible to have her as a part of my life. And your best friend was shot in a drive-by shooting in 1998. That's terrible. The 90s were a tough time, though. Man, I was in Tacoma in the early 90s. And Tacktown was, man, like, you know what's crazy? Okay, so talking about that. So right here, talking about Amber was saying that she had someone that was shot in a drive-by in 98. When they had that last protest, when the police officer drove through that crowd of people in Tacoma, and then there was the day after there was protesting. One of the things that got me about that was that neighborhood. That used to be a very rough neighborhood. Like downtown Tacoma was no joke. Like up off K Street, running all down through there. Like it was. You were legit. Like it was like a battle zone. They had like gang wars happening. Like they had like the Bloods and the Crips, that whole thing. Like they were like coming up from LA, and like there was legitimate shootings, like drive-bys all the time. There's people that were going. I mean, it was crazy. It was legit. Yeah, kid, you get it. It was crazy in the 90s in Tacoma. What was wild was seeing these kids walking through those streets, and they were, this is one of the things that with the protest that got me to a point where I was just like, I got to step away for a little bit. That neighborhood is remarkably gentrified at this point, but there's people that have made the stand and are still there. These kids were going through and smashing out windows on cars and whatnot of people that have already had to deal with the gentrification of their neighborhoods. And it just blew me my mind. So I was like, if you would have pulled any of this stuff in the 90s, without a question, Kate, you would vouch this, you would have got shot. If you would have pulled any of that action on the streets in Tacoma in the early 90s, those same streets. Doesn't matter what you think your cause was. You would have been met with the utmost of violence, and we're not just saying that to say it. That's the truth of the matter. So it's crazy how things have changed, though. But yeah, the smell, the aroma of Tacoma, is that what you're talking about? The aroma of Tacoma, I think it was the paper mill. I think it was. We had like a paper factory, or whatever. Is what people kept telling me. But who knows what it really was? But yeah, it was always when you hit right around the Tacoma Dome on I-5 when you're heading north or south. What's up, Kim? How you doing over there on YouTube? Kim Jaworski, hanging out. I see that Green Bay jersey you're rocking there. I'm with you. Okay, I got one sitting over here. Compliments of Cindy. Much love, Cindy. And it's funny because I got a Green Bay hat on top of it. When we were out doing the mural, yeah, Kate, yeah, so was I. Where we at here? Where'd you say that? Here we go. Yeah, but not that group. That group is not the type. You know what I mean? But they gang up on somebody and pepper spray him and hit him with an umbrella. But other people though getting tired of it. I can see that cracking off. But yeah, so someone came up to me while we were doing the mural in Kenosha, and they had a Green Bay hat. And they're like, you can't leave here without a Green Bay hat. You got to wear one of these. So I had got a camouflage Green Bay hat, and then I've got my legitimate, like straight up super legit Halliburton jersey, Green Bay jersey. And so I'm looking for a chance to rock that. It's funny because Russell Wilson from the Seahawks, he was talking about looking at some other teams potentially. And I was like, man, if you go somewhere, it'd be cool if you went to Green Bay, because then I could cheer for Russell and it would be okay. You know what I mean? Because he was with Green Bay, it'd be a little bit of crossover right there, So it was all right. All-time Packer fan. I'll never sell out my Hawks. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I love my Seahawks. So, I've been in Seattle. I know Seattle. These are my dudes. But the Packers are legit. And this is why they've been around. One of my goals, you guys, is to get back over there and actually go to a Green Bay Packers game, like a sold-out Packer Stadium. I think that'd be incredible. Lambeau Field would be amazing. I talked to some people that have been like, they didn't get it. They're like, oh, I went to a Packers game and we were tailgating and it was cold and it was, I was frozen, miserable, and wanted to leave. And then the second they walked into the stadium, they got emotional. They were like, oh my God, this is this is like 80,000 people at church, but everybody was just so you could feel the energy. That was the most incredible place ever. So now they're season ticket holders. Yeah. Mike Holmgren, there you go. Left his heart in Seattle. You already know. That's what's going on. Carly says, is your favorite non-Pats team? Every team that's not the Pats is a non-Pats team. How you specify, as long as it's a non-Patriot. But if any other team, it would be the Patriots. But I'll give you that one. It's all right. But Buffalo, New York smells like Cheerios? What? Nicole, hey, big shout out to Nicole, you guys. Nicole here went above and beyond and took some time to send me an entire oil pack that was with a mist, the vaporizer, and all these I'm wearing right now. It smells like cedar. It's incredible. Love it. It's amazing, and it's calming. People were really concerned that it was going to be bad for my dog. We did some research. Nicole hit me up and let me know about that. But yeah, it just full on it's super. It's going right now, actually, back over here. It's running. So yeah, thank you, Nicole, for taking the time to send me the all that incredible care package. So cool. You're amazing. Love you for it. Just love you in general, but thank you for doing that. And yes, you guys are right. Russell was from he did go to school over in Wisconsin, right? He was a Badger, right? So what are you gonna do? That's all right. I got no problem with it. You know what I mean? It's good. And Green Bay and Notre Dame game in South Bend. Okay. You guys have had some cool experiences here, the sporting events that we've had a chance to partake in. I remember one of the coolest games I went to was my dad took me to a Globetrotters game, which is really cool. Got to see the Sonics play back when they existed, which was really cool. One time, just once, way back in the day when it was, I'm talking way back in the day. Like this is like pre-Peyton, pre-Kemp, like back in the day. And we used to go to the AAA games. My dad would take me to so we have, it used to be the Tacoma Tigers out there in Tacoma at at Tiger Stadium, which has changed now. And then it was the Calgary Cannons, and now it's the Rainiers, right? It's the farm team for the Mariners, and so the AAA squad. But I remember we had there was Jay Buhner who played for the Mariners, and he had hurt his ankle, I think it was, and so he got sent back down to the minors for rehabilitation. Which I don't know how that makes him any rehabilitate. Maybe there's more to it at a young age. That's all I remember. He was hurt, and he got to go down and he played at the minors. So my dad took me to this game. We're watching. It was he was playing. He was up in Calgary. It was the Calgary Cannons, I think, at the time, was the farm team for the Mariners. And anyone who was like a real sports buff, you can correct me in this one if I'm wrong. But they were playing the Tacoma Tigers. So Jay Buhner was there. The farm team for the Mariners was there. And Tacoma Tigers were the farm team for the Oakland Athletics, I believe. But they were in Tacoma. I'm pretty sure that's how it was set up. Interesting, odd dynamic. The game was incredible. We got like I remember we got like the programs and the bobblehead and, whatever it was. My dad just, did it up. And we ended up, I remember it was the bottom of the ninth. We were down by 3. The bases were loaded. It was like 2 outs, 2 strikes, no balls, and Jay Buhner's at bat, right? And it was one of those my oh my moments. Jay Buhner like cracks a grand slam to end the game, and we ended up winning by 1 point in the bottom of the ninth off a grand slam by Jay Buhner. Coolest game ever. I was like, oh my gosh, it was the most amazing. I mean, it was one of those like Lambeau Field moments. There were people like in tears, like, oh my god, it was so incredible. But it was very cool. It was very cool. And then but we were lucky out here. We had like the Kingdom. The Kingdom back in the day was like ratchet. But I mean, yeah. Can you believe they did Sonic games in the Kingdom? Yeah. So Plugster, we're talking about right now. Not that I'm hating on the Kingdom. Don't get me wrong, y'all. But it was kind of ratchet. I remember when the ceiling was falling in. For anyone that are Seattle like natives, like the ceiling tiles were falling off of the top. But it was the hit, man. Kingdom, yeah. DJ Tesseract was a beast, man. The Kingdom. Remember they would do fireworks inside the Kingdom? Like it was a dome, a closed dome roof. And if someone hit a home run, it would legit like they would blow off fireworks, and it was just so loud. And man, it was incredible. It was incredible. But that's where like we got to see King Griffey Jr. The kids showed up for the first time. Man, it just was incredible, man. We had all the Ichiro showed up back when the Dome was around. Ichiro made the migration between the Dome and the new Safeco Stadium, if I remember right. I remember, anyone on here from Seattle, do you remember when they imploded the Dome? Like I was out there that day. My cousin has the coolest picture of it, like it's like a 3 or 4 photo series where it's like and then like the cloud of like dust and debris coming up the street. Really incredible. But yeah, Kevin, I will be out in the Minnesota area very soon. I'll be out in that area. I mean, you guys, so the weekends are going to be comprised of covering things live. So keep that in mind. And there might be some stuff throughout the week as well. But I'm going to be doing some travel here coming up soon. That being said, if you know of things happening in your area, not just your, of course, Minnesota is going to be cracking off, Minneapolis, but other places too. Let me know, and if we can get out there and check it out, we would. And there's more to it, not just like protests. I'm talking about things that are happening. Like I said, for my people that are down in Bama that are still coming off of the effects of the hurricane, let me know. I'd love to go down and cover some stuff there, talk to some people, shine a light on things that are still happening. There's still fires burning, guys. That's crazy to me. We're looking right past it. So there's plenty of stuff to talk about and to cover. So that being said, if you guys have anything in mind, feel free to reach out. I'm not saying that because I'm at a void for things to go out and cover. I just honestly, it's just time, guys. Like I'm working a full-time job. I got to pay bills. I had all that time where it was like almost 5 months where I was out doing nothing but streaming. And thank God I had you guys to help make that possible through, contributions and donations. But now, things slowed down. There wasn't a lot of streaming happening. And I had to pay bills. So I'm back, working a full 9 to 5. today was a long one, you guys. So I went out and split wood this morning with my good friend. Actually, that guy's little brother, Everett, who's one of my best friends as well. We were up at like 4 a.m. Went up to, and you guys go to my Facebook page, you'll see that I did a little time lapse of like the sun rising while we were out there. It was short lived, but spent the first couple hours of the day splitting wood up on the mountain, and then came back and had some appointments, and I had to do my my normal 9-to-5 sales job. So it's been staying real busy, and which doesn't allow me a lot of time to get out there and do what I typically do, which is live streaming out in the streets and covering stuff out there. But there is stuff coming up in the future here soon. So it's tough though, man, because you guys, you get nervous about staying relevant. You know what I mean? And I see the numbers, and it's tough to see that it normally would have like 1,000 people, and we only got like 100, maybe 150 people in here at the most, and whatever. But it's a potent group though. We got a good crowd. We got a good squad. People that are here, that are hanging out, just chit chatting right now. Is cool. And like I said, this one kid, I was watching this little clip, and someone was making fun of him while he was gaming. Like, oh, you only have 4 followers, or 13 followers, whatever it was. He was like, yeah, I don't have that many followers. But he was like, can you imagine if I had in my room right now 13 people sitting behind me just watching me play a video game? How cool would that feel to know that you had people that were in that place, Yeah, the 70K days will be back, Carly. You're right. Because we were there. I was looking at some pics of 25,000, 30,000, 50, 60, 84,000 people watching. But I was like, right now we have like 60 people on 3 different platforms hanging out in the room with me, just chit-chatting. I think that's cool. That's very cool to me. You know what I mean? Hey, Kim, way to throw it in there with the $5 super sticker. Thank you very much. Rocking that Packers jersey and showing people some love. But yeah, Ellie Mae, you guys have showed up, and it means a lot that you guys are still here. And yeah, you guys are you guys are the my tribe, man. You guys are my tribe, and I really appreciate it. It means a lot that you're here and willing to stick it out. You guys are the ones that share the feed and keep paying it forward and helping me make that happen. And so thank you very much. And you do things like where Kim is right here, that you're able to make these donations, and all of that legit goes right into the fund, right? And I store it all up so that and it legitimately goes into the process. So like once I hit that mark, I'm like, all right, cool, I can buy an airline ticket or whatever I need to get to that next story, whatever I might be doing. So yeah, so yeah, life's been crazy for everybody, you know what I mean? And real fast, love your tribe. Daria, you said it right. A guy, I was at the gym working out, this guy spotted me, and he said to me, he's like, man, I really like your vibe, man. You got a good way about you. I was like, I appreciate that. And then over his shoulder, he was like, your vibe attracts your tribe. And I was like, bet. I love what you just said, man. Your vibe attracts your tribe. And I was like, if that's the thing, if I've got a good vibe, it means that my tribe here, we got a good tribe. You know what I mean? We'll put that on a shirt. We'll go ahead and that'll be the next CJTV shirt. Your vibe equals your tribe. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, right now, not just CJ. I'll pick up, you hit it on the head right now. The smaller streams, like right now, everyone's a bit dormant right now, not just you. Yeah, it'll pick up where you left off. I appreciate that. And, hopefully it won't be as chaotic, but we'll be able to cover some stuff that's important. And I'll be able to get out there and do what I do, and which is get out in the street, put myself on the front line, and swing my microphone into people's faces and try to interview them, get them to talk to me in the midst of chaos, and elevate some voices. And that's what we're about. That's what we're all about doing, right? All about elevating those voices. But things have died down quite a bit. There's not really a lot to cover right now. And that being said, plus this is not what people are used to seeing, this frame situation here. The second I get outside, people are like, oh, okay, that's where he belongs. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do just a stream walking around. We'll do a studio stream, but I'll do it from the street. We'll just set up on a corner. We'll just start talking to people that randomly that are walking by, interviewing folks. You know what I mean? Ellie Mae, and you'll have it coming. I promise you. You guys, new year, new gear is coming up very soon. So the merch is coming very soon. We're working on it. I promise you. It's a process, more than I expected. The Good Vibe Tribe, yeah. So it'll be very soon. I promise you that. So, yeah, Cindy, you said it right. The Good Vibe Tribe, the GVT. So that's what's up. Yeah, we got it coming. Serena, what's going on? Yeah, doing good, doing good. Like I said, we're just been here. We started off just kind of preambling, talking about the women in history, or women that have made history, of Pickwick. Okay, go back over. Are you talking about the hotel right here, Plugster? Give us a review of Pickwick. What do you mean? What are you talking about over there in Fife? Last time I was in Fife, cover anything was the hotel that had the takeover, and that was a trippy situation, right? Like, what's crazy is that like you have, I've reached out to some of these organizations about co-oping and like doing some stuff in tandem to work with the homeless community, and I got nothing. Got kind of like shat on, really. No, we're not going to work with you. We're not doing this. And I was like, well, if it's going to contribute to the cause of what you're fighting for and what I believe in, why would we not cohabitate on our efforts? You know what I mean? But it was surprising. Yeah, it was surprising to get such a bullheaded response from folks. I was like, man, that just really tripped me out. I did not expect it. Pickwick, bring cash. Got it. Hamburger place. Pickwick, bring cash. Got you. Okay. Yeah, well, check it out. Is the voted best cheeseburger in Washington. You're driven up from Clark County just to eat there. All right, cool, guys. We'll do a stream right now. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna write it down right now as we speak. We're gonna do a stream from the Pickwick. All right. I'm writing it down right now, and we'll actually do like a live stream from it. I'll see if I can't get a hold of the people, and we'll do a feed. All right, now that'll be that upcoming show. We're gonna interview the owners. First and only time I've ever become a supporter on Facebook. AJ, thank you for being a supporter. Big difference. It really does, influence what my ability to do the stream. Having okay. So guys, so you know what the supporters do. Wait, real fast. Pickwick. I got you. All right. What the supporter thing does for me is it helps me know I can project down the line. I can see where financially where I'm able to move forward, and it does help maintain the lifeblood of the stream, the studio software, hardware, all of this little stuff that you don't see behind it, this stuff, that stuff, all that comes from things like supporters that help make it possible. So that's a big deal. And when I plan on travel, that predicates a lot of what I'm able to do. So AJ, thank you very much for jumping in there and becoming a supporter. Anyone else that's not a supporter, I would really appreciate if you want to jump in. Like I said, it's once a month, it's $4.99, and it gives you a chance to there's going to be things as the merch comes out, gives you discounts on merchandise, things like that. But also beyond that, it gives, just kind of pays it into the process here. You know what I mean? If you get a little entertainment out of what I do here at any point in time, it saves me from feeling like I'm dancing out here trying to get pay for my my trips. Anyway. But I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad that you're getting familiar with the whole supporter scene on Facebook here, which is great. So that's good. Becky G, thank you very much for getting on board there. Becky G with that super sticker. Thank you so much. Yeah, becoming a supporter is the best ROI ever. Hint, hint. I'm with you, Carly. I see where you're going with that. Okay. But yeah, so thank you, Becky, for being on board there, for helping make that happen. Right. Yeah, 10 to 12 hours, 6 hours work. Yeah. Marie, I say my wonderful boss got ALS, had to sell CPA office. New boss has all new softwares. Whoa. Immediately I got a migraine. Like, not from reading this, but from knowing that having to integrate new software, my job, legit, I probably have to navigate through 20 different systems to get anything done. And it just, what's crazy is anytime I ask for any assistance, I'll hit my like a regional manager up. I'm like, hey, how do I get into this program? They're like, oh, come on, man. I'm like, oh, come on. I have like 10 different passwords to get into 10 different systems, and I have 10 different systems that I have to overlap on those. So I feel for you, Marie. That's rough. That's rough. But we all got to put in the hard work right now, especially if we're still working. I mean, COVID hasn't quite gone away completely, and a lot of people haven't been able to go back to work. So now the people are actually able to get work done. I know for me personally, I took a pay cut on salary so they wouldn't furlough me. And then when I started talking to people that were actually furloughed, that were laid off, and I saw that, and I was like, man, that's actually a pretty sweet gig that a lot of people had. They're getting an extra bump on their unemployment. But I just really, counted my blessings that I had a job throughout COVID, and that I was able to take the time that I was away and come back to work, luckily. So that was a real blessing as well. So not a lot of places are going to be cool with you taking 4 months off and then have you come back. Luckily, I'm pretty good at what I do in sales. And so I kind of like just crushed my sales before August. And I basically had hit like my, quota for 4 months worth of quota, basically. And they were like, okay, well, maybe they were chill about it when I didn't come back to work after my 1 week vacation for 4 months. They're like, you coming back? I was like, yeah, maybe, I don't know, so, but it was a blessing that I still have this year. So we got some fun travel coming up too, you guys. And okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys right now, we're gonna have some travel videos that we're putting together coming up, moving forward into next month. But the way we're gonna do that is I'll be live streaming parts of the travel to the supporter community only. And then we'll release a video later to everyone else on, and all the networks. So don't freak out about it though. We're not there yet, but there'll be other stuff too that'll be for everybody. But there's going to be some of the exclusive footage is going to be available for interactions on some of these travel shows that we're doing moving forward to the supporter community. So to all my supporters, you got that to look forward to. And to anyone else who wants to be a part of that, jump in. We got some cool stuff. Actually, I just met a guy yesterday. I'm really excited. He, like I said, all these doors get put in front of me, and when I'm praying, my God, if you put a door in front of me, I'm gonna walk through it. And that was one of them. And this guy owns homes. He's built some homes in a new business that he's starting in another country. And he's like, hey man, if you want, you can go check them out. I'll host you. I was like, well, I mean, if you want me to, I guess I can check them out. But that's gonna take some forward planning. But that'll be a really cool show. I'm looking forward to that one. We got some other stuff coming up here for some domestic travel. That's gonna be really cool, and some follow-up shows with some people, some characters from some past streams from this last year that are looking forward to. Some Mike Peel. We got some of the Vernonia Cavalry interaction. Some cowboy stuff coming up. So it's gonna be fun. We got some really cool stuff to look forward to here. AJ, I'm not gonna drop that just yet. We'll drop that like a new album. We'll go ahead, and AJ is trying to get the inside track as to where I'm going to be going. But we'll let you know. I'll let you know. Everyone will dial you in so you know exactly what's going on and where I'll be. And you guys can all be a part of it too. You know what I mean? So Marvelous Marv, good night to you. Got to be up early for work. I got you. Oh, hey, Veronica. It's funny you just said that. So legitimately, probably 10 minutes before I came on tonight, my guy Tyrone, the Sausage King, hit me up, and he was like, hey, I've got my people sending you some sausage. So I'm stoked. As soon as that gets here, I'm going to do a show. We've already got it lined up, a segment we're going to do with him, and I'll be able to go ahead and enjoy some of that sausage at the same time. So I'm looking forward to that one. But yeah, he literally, right before I went on the show today. So like I said, we're still moving, you guys. There's a lot of stuff happening. And the studio thing here, doing this, it's not what I'm used to. So I appreciate you guys hanging in here with me and doing the interviews and trying to change the format from just being out, being out in the world and live streaming in the streets. This is a lot different. So it's really legitimate. This takes a lot more work than I think I can really gives it credit by just sitting here watching me talk, because there's even just do this, man, like getting this set up, like getting the right camera, like this guy right here, like getting this camera, forget it. Steph, you know what's up. The lighting here, the lighting there, this lighting back here, like the microphone here, this guy, all of this is like a problem. The different screens I'm working off of right now, and just so much easier to just turn on my camera on my phone and be like, it's cool, I'm just streaming, man. Get out my way. I'm doing my thing, But yeah, the Zen lighting. So like legit, so I'm watching these like video game streamers to get an idea how to better do lighting in my little home office here. And I was like, well, what's the best way to do it? And they've all got like cool little LED lights everywhere. And I'm like, well, that's not really my jam. But this is just like a room divider that I keep to divide rooms. But but it's comfortable, right? This is comfortable. Feels good. It's a much better camera that I'm working with now. So I took the other camera that I had into Best Buy, right? And yeah, man. So yeah, Caveman, you got that right. Yeah, some of the rotten protesters. Man. There's been a lot of some gnarly protesters I've had to deal with. Yeah, to the two of them converse for hours. Yeah. So, but what got me was that, like, I took this camera in because it was doing this weird like fish eye, like wide angle lens type thing, right? And it was getting like the corners of this setup here, and I'm like, man, this is too much, man. You guys, it's too much. I can't control the sides. It's too much to look at here. And so I took the camera and I was like, hey, there's something wrong with this camera. Like, I don't know what's going on with it. I bought it here, and it's something's wrong. And so they pulled it up, and the guy was like, oh, well, and he kind of like laughed, and I was like, what? And he was like, I don't think there's anything wrong with the camera. He flat out told me, he's like, it's just a shitty camera. I was like, what? No, it's not. I'm sure I paid decent money for it. It was like a $25 webcam, and I was like, oh, okay, so it's not broken. It's just garbage. So there you go. So lesson learned. Pay for it. Pay right once, and you only have to pay once. You know what I mean? But go cheap off the bat. You're gonna buy it again. And but this camera is pretty legit. I like this one. It's cool. I still got to figure out the intricacies of how to navigate lighting, because like if you turn on, man, you guys. So I'm gonna have to do a tutorial on what it takes to like just light a place so that I don't look. Even right now, I got bags under my eyes. Like, it's just tough to give yourself like the right studio look. But whatever. I got this cool light up globe back here. That one, it's pretty legit. I dig that thing. Pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, it's a whole process to get this set up. You know what I mean? And really, this is kind of a cool little hangout session. I don't play video games, so we can't just kick it and watch me play a video game. I'm not the best at making movies. Obviously, you guys saw some of the video clips I put together. They're not entirely the best. Yeah, they do okay. Not the best. I'm getting better. But the getting better. It's not hard to get better from where I've been. So, but that being said, there is definitely a learning curve and margin for growth. So, but we're getting there. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it. So the thing to say though is that we'll be doing some fun stuff too. That isn't going to have to be so heavy and so serious. Yeah, and Cindy, I'm glad you're here. You know what I mean? Just hanging out and chatting a little bit. Like I know there's other streamers that have stuff going on. They do like fun stuff. There's their team. They watch other streams. Like guys like my guy Joey over at Crooked Nose. Was a cool cat, man. I like that guy, and he'll showcase actually the stream every once in a while. We have stuff going on, so it's streamers helping streamers. You know what I mean? So, but we got other stuff we'll be able to do other than video games, and I'm gonna try to do earlier streams so that you guys that are in the East Coast and the Midwest aren't gonna have to be up at midnight watching me, do this right now. But more like on the fly interviews, which I think are fun. And I got a guy that wants to come and hang out. And so we're going to just start picking places like downtown, Seattle, downtown Tacoma, Olympia, just random spots, and just start just interviewing people and just having fun with it. You know what I mean? And I think it'll be a lot of fun. So I think it's good. It's good. And you're going to enjoy it. I think you guys will really have a lot of fun with it because it'll be fun to be able to field questions from the crowd about things that have nothing to do with anything that we're expecting. You know what I mean? Because it's really easy to jump in on the political stuff and, you know, yada, yada, yada. We could do that all day. Yeah. I'm going to interview flies. What are you talking about? People, Eric, people. I would interview a fly if I could. If the fly would give me some constructive feedback, I would do that interview. What do you say in what was the interview with Seth Rogen and James Franco when they were the goat situation? He's like, I got some questions for that goat. Yeah. Yeah. Team Money. What's going on? We should raid somebody. On the fly interviews. Eric, that was a straight up dad joke moment right there. You're gonna interview flies? Why did ducks have all those feathers, Eric? To hide their butt quack. Ew. Dad joke. Dropped it. Hear me now. Yeah. AJ, I'll interview you. Hey, send me your info. I'll bring in the show. We'll do an interview. We'll do some more, like I said, like impromptu on the flies. We got coming up though. We've got some really cool interviews with some people that I've met. Rose Stanek / Sprinkle coming up. She's a children's author, a friend of mine, also really cool individual. Well, thank you, Serena. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You know, Crooked Nose does their thing though, man. I'll tell you right now, Joey, if you're watching right now, you did suck me in that night of the slow speed chase. For like anyone who watched it, I know Steph, you were watching that. For real, like I spent like 5 hours on my night. I stopped to get some food, and if you guys don't remember, this was the slowest speed chase in California history, the longest car chase I think in California history, and the slowest, and it was ridiculous. And I tuned in for a split second. Like I tuned in like just to say what's up to Joey. I was like, hey, what's up? You know, I saw he was live. So I popped in, said hello. He talked back a little bit. Then I felt myself engaging with, you know, the stream. And I found myself sitting in my car for like 4 hours watching this dude drive at like 10 miles per hour. And then he'd stop. And all the police that were following would get out of the car and they'd walk up and then he'd start driving again. And then he did that like 100. Oh my God. You guys, if you watch that, I was up till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I'd be up like 6 o'clock for work. And I was up to like 4 or 5 watching that stupid thing. So Joey, you got one coming, bro. You sucked me in on that one. I was dirty. I was dirty. It was funny though. Then it ended. And what's crazy is like the helicopters had to refuel. Linda, yeah, you watched it. Tammy, you saw that too. Yeah. Plugster, you know what's up. But how the helicopters had to keep refueling, right? Like they went through like 5 different helicopters. And then right when it ends, the last helicopter is like, we have to refuel. We got to leave. I was like, this is a setup, man. So the guy's like flying away doing like the long telescopic view, trying to catch like the last scene where the guy gets taken out of the car. And I was like, no, man, you can't do that to us. Like we've been here for so long. And I think what happened was they were like, shit's about to go down. Like this might get bad. This dude's about to get roughed up. We don't need people seeing that. So maybe the media was like, pull out, dude. We don't want anyone catching what's about to happen on camera because they're about to rough this dude up. And apparently it ended really peacefully from what I saw. And then it cut to someone standing on the freeway, like streaming, like just standing there, like recording it, standing on the side of the road. And I was like, man, people were giving me grief because I definitely would have been out there. Like I was full on. I had time. If I was in a different situation in life, if I wasn't working, I would have legit, if this had been 4 months ago, I would have hopped on a plane immediately, flown to LA, just so that I could have jumped out on that freeway and done a run beside interview and just try to catch that interview with the dude. Like I full on was like, man, can I make it there in time? Like, can I make it back for work? Like, might not have a job to come back to, but man, what a great interview that would be. Just me running down the side of the freeway, you know. I think I could keep up at 10 miles. The guy would have slowed down for me, I think. I'm sure the police probably would have had something to say to me as well. But they were otherwise engaged. I probably could have ditched, you know what I mean, got away on the side, you know what I mean, cut off the other side of the freeway. But I was real close. I was really, people actually, Joey was like, dude, you need to go down there. CJ, you need to go down there. Joey from Crooked Nose, actually, he was the one that told me about, I was out in Kenosha hanging out, and he needed to dispatch surrogate streamers. It's tough, Carly. It's tough to play that game because you got to be careful with what people say and do while they're streaming because it directly impacts what happens. So, I mean, you got someone that says the wrong thing or does the wrong thing. You know, I could end up getting my show shut down. I could get my channel pulled. I could get a lot of stuff happening. So I got to be careful. You know, I was just talking to Lucky Bamboo. Do you guys remember him? Bamboo. But CJ, And I remember he got his channel pulled down because he brought his stream into the bathroom with him down in Portland by the federal building. He got all sorts of trouble for that. So he got, like I said, his channel got put in, he got cut off. I think it was Twitch he did it like that. But yeah, so I was really debating, and Joey was like, "Oh, the Chicago thing when the dude, that guy was suspended, didn't hang himself, though I did word it wrong, whatever. Suspended himself off the side of Trump Towers. There you go. So you probably could have got to it, yeah." And so he was like, "Hey man, this is happening in Chicago right now," and I was like, "Man." How I ended up in Kenosha in the first place was I was in Chicago. We got the call about Jacob Blake, and we were like, I didn't even know where Kenosha was. You know, I'd never been to Chicago, maybe once before in my life. I've been to Chicago once before, and but I didn't know anything about surrounding areas. And so I was like, all right, I don't know where we're at, but you got to get to Kenosha. That's how I ended up in Kenosha, right? And then that night of the Adil guy who hung himself off the side of the Trump Tower there, we were in Kenosha, middle of the night. It wasn't even middle of the night. It was so it was Stefan and Emily, and we all just teamed up. We're like, all right, cool, we're rolling. So we squatted up and we went out there, and it was actually really cool. We were out there for like 14 hours, and that was a good interview. That was actually good. We caught the whole thing, and then I got an interview with the dude as he came out of Trump Towers. I mean, I wish I had all this stuff easily queued up, but that's not how the studio situation works. Where I can show you guys that, because if you didn't watch that one, the Noam Chomsky guy, yeah, that's right, Carly, you got that right. He started quoting Noam. Everyone's like, this guy's crazy, he's stupid, blah blah blah. The dude came out on a stretcher after sitting on the side of a building for like 14 hours, and he started quoting Noam Chomsky, talking about the youth, and I was just like, dude, thank you, bro. Like, you came out of left field. I was not expecting that, but he definitely showed up, and yeah, I think he was a grad student. He was here going to school. That's actually one of the things they were pulling his visa. I think because of his student aid, something happened with his travel and his student situation there. But that stream was forever long. Yeah. Kenosha, man, is definitely forever a part of my life, though. You got that right. Kenosha is definitely my it's my homework. I've talked a lot about it lately, actually. If things change a little bit in my life, you know, Kenosha wouldn't be too far away from where I might be. And honestly, in the next couple months, as the weather's changing, the 37-mile march the next day, yeah, that was right off the wings of that. Yeah, that was a whirlwind, man. The whole time I was in Kenosha for like the whole month of October, all of like September through October, I was in Kenosha basically the whole time. And, you know, it was just like, there was a story after story after story after story after story. And I'm excited, like I said, for you guys out in Kenosha. Like Corey, Elijah, and I were just kind of conversing about doing a studio feed together. Deportation, thank you, was Adil's thing, the guy from the Trump Towers. But, and I was just kind of spitballing a thought, and I was like, man, Corey and I would crush a podcast. Like if we teamed up and did a show together. How many of you guys, hey, give me thumbs up or some kind of positive emoji here, or even comments if you guys know who I'm talking about, Corey Elijah. And if you don't, KoerriElijah, Corey Elijah from Kenosha, super solid cat, great guy. He's a live streamer there. If you guys would like to see us team up and do a show together, like let me know, hit me up, and then hit him up and let him know that y'all would support it. Because I'm definitely with it. And he was asking me to come on the show, do an interview. And I was like, man, I'd love to bring you on an interview as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back, spending some time with him and hanging out. Maybe he can show me how to skate a little bit. It's been a long time for me. But if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, Corey Elijah, he's like the skateboard streamer, man. He would always be on his like, not a longboard, but like his skateboard. And he would be streaming, like cutting through the streets of Kenosha. And real good guy, real nice dude, really nice dude, good solid human being. And there we go. We even got a CJ emote. And so I was thinking, I'm like, man, if I ended up out in Kenosha, that would be a real easy one to like set up shop, man. He and I can do some real cool tandem work. And I was like, you know, okay, you know, okay. Corey Elijah, yeah, KoerriElijah, that's the one. But yeah, real good dude. And I think that moving forward, I mean, I've got a local cat that wants to do a podcast here. And we're looking at some studio space and kind of playing with some ideas, but I'm keeping myself kind of fluid right now because I don't really know where I'm going to be exactly, where I want to be here in the next, several months. So it's kind of a toss up. You know what I mean? We'll see though. We'll see. Near my dog. He's locked out right now. He's just kind of like, he's freaking out. What's up, bud? Hey, Jits. He's like at the bottom of the door, like, I know you're in there. I can smell you, Dad. He don't like it when he can't get to me. He just doesn't like it. What's funny is he'll come in and like look at me and be like, "You doing this again? I'm out of here." Just bail out. All right, man. Go hang out in another part of the house then. Nah, Jits is chilling out there. He's chilling. He's got to learn. When we start recording, you're in or you're out. You know what I mean? Shut the studio door. That's it. You're either part of the production or you're not. So sorry, bud. You hear he's like, "Urgh. Sorry, bro. I love you, man. We'll go for a walk later." Which I can still do because it's only like 10 o'clock over here. You've never seen Jits? I'll show you Jits. Compliments O'Dara. Here we go. This is, if you didn't see, so AJ was saying she wanted to see Jits. I got you. Boom. That's Jits right there. Look at that regal hound. Look at that. There we go. Look, you see the quality of the picture there. The camera. Bum, bum. Look at that guy. That's a good looking dog. That's a great picture. Yeah, Ryan's my human shield for haunted houses. But look how little this picture is. On the fridge behind me, back here, you guys can see there's another little one right there. There's one right there. This is so difficult. And there, and over there. There's another over. Anyway, yeah, so Dara does these little miniature paintings, you guys. I don't have your card sitting right here, Dara, but you can put it up in the comments here if you're still in here with us. Yeah, there you are. Dara, throw up the link to your art so that people can come go check it out. But she's done some miniatures of me that I had that put magnets on them, and they're on the fridge behind me over there, right there. My little studio mini fridge. And super cool though. Yeah, it's like a little, I mean, you can look at the size of it, right? But like the detail work is nuts. Look at that. I'm about to throw that on a shirt. Just rocking it, like blow it up a little bit and just boom. The JIT squad right there. My PIC, my partner in crime. What's funny is he's got like a little hoodie that he wears when I'm walking when it's cold, and it just says PIC, partner in crime. Black little hoodie. It's pretty dope. And yeah, but I was also thinking that'd look cool on a hat, like just that part right there. Poop. Get that done up on the front of a hat. Just the Jits team right there. I'd rock it. Anyway, yeah, I keep that on my desk. Also, Carol. Are you in here, Carol? I got to give a big shout out to Carol. So when I did the zoo thing the other day, I don't know if you guys know that I kind of snuck into the zoo on Sunday and did a video from the zoo. I did a live broadcast. They were closing down, and I ended up kind of getting there right as they closed, and ended up sneaking into the zoo basically. But while I was there, I got locked into the aquarium. Like I went in one door, and I guess the last employee went out the last door. And I was locked in the aquarium for like 45 minutes, however long it was, like just wandering around, which is cool. I got to like hang out with the hammerhead sharks, the manta rays. Like I was the only one in there. So I got to like go and look at all like hands on all the exhibits that no one's supposed to touch. Don't tell anybody. But Carol was waiting for me outside of the zoo, which was awesome, and had a gift for me, which is this camel right here. Look at that. How cool is that? It's like a two-tone camel. Look at that. It's actually really pretty, and which is awesome because camels, if you guys don't know, are kind of one of my totems. No, I haven't got those yet, Dara. If you sent more this week, I haven't seen them yet. But these camels. So when I was in Egypt, I kind of stole a camel. I mean, I borrowed a camel. The guy tried to steal my camera, and so I took his camel as payment, and we ended up trading off later. But I had a camel for a while, and then I got a chance to ride one again, which I haven't done in decades. a decade or so, in Kenosha out at the pumpkin patch. And my mom rode the camel too. It was pretty cool. So you guys can check out that video. It's on the feed. If you guys go over to CJTV Media, it's in there, so you can see the camel situation. Yeah, but yeah. So Carol hooked me up, and then Carol, here we go. And then I got to meet your dog's name is, help me out here, Carol. Jerry Smith's. Yes, it was at Jerry Smith's. AJ, that is correct. Not Bentley. What is your dog's name, Carol? I'm sorry. I know it starts with a B, right? It's not Beatrice or Little Jackson. Watch your whole tour at the zoo. That's what's up. Yeah. I got to meet some incredible kids. Manny, Ryan, some other little folks that were out there. Bentley. I got it right. Cool. It's Bentley. How does the camel go? How's the camel? How's the camel running? In all of its ugliness. Camel tobacco should be paying me for all this. Yeah, camel. Not that I'm saying you should smoke, but if you did smoke camel cigarettes. No, don't smoke. If you are smoking, I encourage you to try to stop. Work on it. You know what I mean? I'm lucky I never got sucked into that vice. I had others, so we're good. But so the camel, But so I was locked in at the zoo for a while, and again, I was the last one in, and I was, of course, the last one out. Like they closed at like 4:00, and I think I left the zoo at like close to 6. So like, I just made it a point to get like just in front of the team. Like they were going the other way, so like they were sweeping the zoo this way, and I got behind them. So I was just had my own tour as they were like kicking everyone else out. And then I ended up in the one building that they had just like left this part of the building as I went in this part. So this door locked, and then this door locked, and then I was stuck in this building here. So that's how that worked out. And then got a chance to just hang out, which was kind of cool. But I saw the wolves. If you guys remember, I just ran around trying to film everything. And the dude ended up, I borrowed a camel. It was a borrow situation. I didn't steal the camel. I borrowed it. But and then I ended up just doing a whirlwind tour of the rest of the zoo. So I think I just did that in supporters, but I don't think it was sending that notification. So any of the supporters, I think you can share that video. If that's the case, man, you guys can share the feed to the other page. It makes for so many analogies. Yeah, Carly, you're spot on with that one. I was like I put this little video together called Night at the Aquarium. And you know what? I might even be able to pull that up for you right now. Let me show you guys real quick. If you didn't see it, we're going to see if I can pull it up for you. And whoops, where'd you guys go? Oh, sorry. Whoops. I do this, boom, pull that one up. See, I can't tell if what you're seeing is what I'm seeing, so I got to be careful about that. And here we go. Boom, boom. And my dog is not happy. He's really giving me the business right now. He's giving me the business. Where we at here? All right, boom. Hold on a second. Here we go. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's loud in my end over here. There we go. All right, cool. Boom. This was the zoo, the clip of the zoo situation. Got it. Okay. And then here we go.
So, no joke. I came in here and apparently the employees left while I was in here, and now I'm full on locked inside of the aquarium. The doors are locked. I can't even get out. There's no one in here.
True story.
But I'm fine.
Hello? Anybody home? Nobody was home. So I made the call,
Pressing 0.
hoping that I get through to somebody.
Thank you for calling Wing Defiance Zoo and Aquarium. You have reached the administrative offices. Sorry we missed your call.
I tried, you know.
We had sharks back here. You know, if you lock in, you might as well lock in.
I saw Steve Irwin's killers too. Hammerheads. There you go. That was my little, my experience at the zoo. I got locked in, so I wasn't kidding about that. That legitimately happened. I could have been in there for a lot longer, but I ended up making my way out, and luckily, because I was afraid I'd actually get charges or something like that, like for trespassing or something like that. I wasn't. Yeah, Steve Irwin's killer was there. The murderer of our beloved Steve Irwin was in the house while I was in the zoo, and it was a scary moment for me because I got nervous. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen here. If these guys are going to be proactively coming at me, I'll fight a stingray if I have to. I don't want to, but if I have to, I'll do it. Yeah, Carly, you're welcome. That was my Sunday, part of it at least. And but it's cool. That's kind of the stuff I was doing with my supporters. So that's one of the other perks of becoming a supporter is I just brought the supporters with me to the zoo, and we hung out and went around and got some food and got tacos. If you guys remember, I took suggestions from folks. We got some tacos, and I got to go and hang out at the zoo with everyone, show everyone some animals. So I got to hang out. Those monkeys were super cool. We got to have our Carol Baskin, debate because I got to see the tigers there. And they had the little girl, you guys, if anyone watched that. So there was this tiger, like a Siberian tiger, whatever kind of tiger it is, a big A tiger. And there's this little girl, and she's like looking through the glass with her mom. She's like, oh my God, look at this tiger. A little girl, she's probably 3 or 4. And I was just like, she was like, tiger, look over here. And I was like, well, tigers aren't going to come over to you unless you call them by name. Tigers are like that. They only come by name. Yeah, Kristen. And so the little girl, I was like, so you got to name the tiger, and then maybe he'll come over here. And I was like, what would you name the tiger? And little girl, without missing the beat, she looked at me and was like, Cadillac. I was just like, what? She was like, Cadillac. He goes, Cadillac the tiger. I was like, that is a dope name for a tiger. If I ever get a tiger, y'all mark my words, I'm going to name the thing Cadillac. I was like, matter of fact, I might rename Jit's Cadillac. That's just a cool name for an animal. Like Caddy. I was like, man, what a cool kid. I was like, this kid's gonna grow up to be something spectacular. The tiger was amazing. But Cadillac. I was like, man, where did that? Even her mom was like, what? Cadillac? I was like, all right, cool. Right on. Could have been Buick, but she came with Cadillac. She dropped the C on him, the caddy. That lack. Oh. If I ever get a tiger. Sorry, you're right, Kristen. When I get a tiger, its name will be Cadillac. Mark my words. It'll be Caddy squared, like number 2. Or Caddy Shack. No, it'll be Cadillac. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Brian, what's up? Lozano, how are you, my friend? Yeah, I was in the zoo for a couple hours. I was locked in the aquarium for like 45 minutes at least. A good 20 minutes. I would say 45, but I'm cheating up. Maybe it's just how much time I spent telling people that I was in there, but yeah. But anyway, I ended up in the not stupid, take that back. It was beautiful. They had this cool jellyfish display that I was hoping to like interact with. It said don't touch. And I was like, well, it's a good thing nobody's here because I'm touching everything. I'm not kidding. I actually did. They have like a little tide pool, and I was in there like touching the sea anemones and the urchins, whatever. I was like, I can do whatever I want until they catch me. That's when I was like, I got to get out of here before I get in trouble because they're probably watching me on the camera. And then I finally went to the camera, and I was like, hello, anybody? Nothing. I realize now that the security at the zoo is minimal at best. They really don't secure much because nobody came to get me out of there. Nobody. They were just like, I heard a door and I was like, hello? And I go running up to him like, hey, hello. And she was like, oh my God, what are you doing in here? I was like, it's a good question. That is a good question. And I'll answer as soon as you open the door so that I can get out just in case I need to run. So there I was hanging out in the zoo, but it was fun. We had a good time. Yeah. Vibes are exhibit A for aquarium. I'm encouraging CJ right now. Yes, indeed. But the aquarium was a good time. It was a real good time. Here I'll show you a better picture of the Jits photo here, so you can kind of see a better close up of this is the Jits right here. This is the business right there. Look at the detail work in that, man. I tell you what, Dara, you kill it. You killed it. Look at that. He's wearing, so this is the red blazer that I was wearing at the benefit dinner in Kenosha, but Dara classed him up and gave him like the tuxedo look here. So this is a good looking dog right now. Look at that. So that's one of the miniatures that that Dara Higgins right here is known for doing. She kills it. The goo laughs. I'm gonna call it the good laughs. Yeah. So that's Jitsi Boy. So, but that's one of the many little things that she's done. So actually, you know what's funny is here's a throwback. Here's a picture that'll take you back and give you an idea of just what I'm talking about. So this is Corey Elijah right here on the left. That's of course Andrew Mercado on the right, and that's me in the middle. So you can see there's the red blazer, you know, and the little 2-button down. This is at the benefit dinner in Kenosha with the Gorman project and the Uptown Downtown Kenosha benefit like rebuild project that they were doing, which is cool. But yeah, this is one of the first times we got a chance to hang out with Corey, and then thereafter he and I got a chance. We were playing ping pong together and got a chance to like hang out. His buddy was, I think, hitting on my sister, which is funny because I don't think she figured it out. But I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's hitting on you right now. So I'm stoked about the this little guy right here. So I don't know if you guys were familiar with this story. But this little guy right here who saved his sister from an attacking dog, it's just, I mean, he got like the WC belt they awarded to him, which is the World Boxing Championship. But they live out in Wyoming, and he's been approached by every celebrity on the planet. Like the story really went worldwide. But I reached out to his mother. I lived in Wyoming for a while, and I was planning on going out there. And his mother, I'm trying to figure out a time where I can get out to Wyoming and do an interview with him just about being a hero and like what that means to a young person. So this little guy, like I said, he saved his sister, and the way he worded it was, he was like, well, if someone was going to die, it was going to be me. I wasn't going to let my sister get hurt. I was like, man, like he stepped up and like got between this attacking dog and his little sister, and the dog, obviously you can see what happened to him, mauled him up. But like, man, that kid, man, that's a little hero right there, and repping for his sister. But so I'm looking forward to getting out there and doing some interviews with people, and like he's one of them that I'm excited about, and other stuff too. But little young people that I've met, man, I tell you, I've just been really blessed to have some youngsters in my sphere that have been really cool, really amazing. Much unlike this little person right here. If you guys, I'm sorry, but I got to show you this video. This thing cracks me up. So this kid looks like a little miniature me, was asking for an apple, right? And his mom had onions, and the kid was like, no, I want an apple. And his mom's like, no, it's an onion. It's like, no, it's an apple, and I'm going to eat it. And mom was like, all right. This kid right here stayed the course. Like, watch what this kid does with this apple. It's an onion, mind you. This kid's eating an onion. Said it was an apple and was like, no, it's an apple. Mom said it's an onion, but this just straight killed me. Watch this kid. This is hilarious. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Just dying. And then goes in for more. That's too much. And it just keeps on chomping, like defiant. Like, no, this is a delicious apple, Mom. Just get it down. Get it down. Look at this. Killing it. I'm sorry. I'm teared up, man. That's just like a little me. It was like, no, No, you can't tell me. You can't tell me that's definitely an apple and I'm eating it. Whether you think I should or not. Mom's was like, pet, go ahead. Yeah, he quadrupled down, Carly. Like, this kid's a champ. Was just no holds barred, man. Was going all the way in. All the way in. You know what's funny, man? Like, while we're looking at some photos here, there's a couple here that really stood out to me. So here's one with an unfortunate person, but like I said, Lucky Bamboo here. If you guys remember this guy, here I'm gonna show you. Right here, the guy on the left, right over here. He was kind of like the intern for Ian and I back when we had concrete reporting. This is when we first met everybody, man. This is like the RX Johnson. You got Sol Luna here, Andrew, you know, and it was Andrew's birthday weekend, actually. We ended up all having like a streamer breakfast and for his birthday, which was really cool. You know, gave us a chance to kind of all meet each other and get to know each other. That's back in the days were good, you know, when it was all chill. Back when guys like this were still cool, man. And the reason we were doing this is like we got paid. People were donating money to have Adam take his shirt off. But the issue was that like we weren't allowed to show nipples on Twitch. So we were each taking a turn covering nipples. But you can see the difference, man. Like gas mask hanging off of there, you know, like, you know, just different vibe, totally different vibe. Yeah, but it seems like forever ago. This is back in, when was this picture taken? Man, it was, I don't even know. But yeah, times, man, it's just, it blows my mind how times fly by here. You know what I mean? This was back in probably this picture here, man. This is the grotto. This is when Andrew and I, and I'll say is I miss that dude. You know what I mean? Like it's sad that things went weird, but you know, he's a good cat. You know, hopefully, you know, things in life will smooth out a little bit more. But we went to this place called the Grotto right here, and I'll show you guys real fast. It's beautiful. Which is this cave, right? It's this entire place is set up with a is this whole cave. This cave is like this is recessed, right? And inside of there is like a statue. I believe it's of Mary and Jesus, and but there's a Catholic church over there, and on the top you go up this elevator, and there's like this Tony Stark looking overhang that looks out over this cliffside, and it was just beautiful. The whole thing was just like there's like this old growth forest up there, and there's like a nunnery, is that what they call it, house of nuns, whatever they call those. It was up there, and it was just, we got a chance to get some prayer time in, and it was beautiful, man. Lit some candles. It was incredible. Yeah. So if you get a chance, this is down at that Proud Boy rally. What's funny about this picture? So I just vouched for like PDX Ninja. So that's Baloo right there on the right. Baloo King, if you remember him, big character from the Portland scene. Andrew's on the left, there's me in the middle. And like I vouched for these cats, and I was like, man, they're good. They're not Antifa streamers, you know, they're just normal dudes. And a convent. There you go. Thank you, Cindy and Judy. I appreciate that. And Carol, thank you. And those are the same cats that like flip the script later on. Not all like Ninja and some of those other cats were like, oh, these guys are, you know, fascists. And I'm like, man, whatever, dude. Like, can't help it if some people don't like you, dog. That's just you have a surly disposition. But that was down covering that Proud Boy rally down there. That was a trip. You know what I mean? There's a lot of yeah, so many things that were going on. If you guys remember this right here, here's Stephanie. Here's one for you. Boom. Dipping in Lake Michigan, y'all. This is at Kenosha. This is a birthday weekend right here. I went and baptized myself in the Lake Michigan. Yeah. It's the one who all the vids of someone getting beat up was. PDX, I don't even know, Carly. I'm not sure who did that, but gorgeous as well. Yeah, Jen, I'd love to. Line it up. I'll come out to we were talking about the grotto at Notre Dame. Notre Dame, pardon. Notre Dame. There's Nats. There's little Natalie Filster. And yeah. That was Lake Michigan, y'all. Jumped in there. It was October. It was my birthday weekend. So yeah, it was in October. It was a little chilly. We had other little ones that jumped in. Hey, actually, no, here, let me show you guys this real fast. This is this was an incredible lunch. Like this brunch right here. Actually, more lunch than anything right here. So this was like when streaming was legit, like when we were all allowed to stream together. You know what I mean? Like when people weren't passing judgment. Everyone was just out there doing what we did, figuring it out for ourselves. We were all brand new. So yeah, like Andrew, man, Eric Greatwood right here. That's RX right there. Ian, Soul, Lucky. You have Adam, myself. I believe the other side of me is probably actually I can't tell who's on the other side there. But this whole weekend, man, it was just all people, people that were from the stream, stream world. All of us that were like getting to know each other and figuring it out as we were going, But we had some pretty incredible times, man. This is it's just some other stuff here. This is wild, man. This is my guy Jason, Bard's Eye News. This is Ian and I out on the freeway after the incident on the 4th of July, morning of the 4th of July, after that driver DeWitt Kalite drove through the protesters that were on the freeway. That tragedy. But I got a chance to interview the state patrol on this one, so it's just cool, man. Like, it's just, there's been a lot of these streams situations that have come up over the course the last year, and it's funny how many I haven't actually posted, but yeah, like looking back, those are just photos of me. Okay. Anyway, there's just, tons of stuff going on out there that, memories of the stream from back in the beginning, back when we were jumping off. There's poop in Lake Michigan. Thank you, AJ. I think there's poop in any lake, really. I think that's something that you can't avoid, really. Not much you can do about that. Summer Taylor was your daughter's friend? Yeah, that was terrible, man. I remember we were on a march when we found out the summer had passed. That was really terrible. It's tragic, man. Yeah. Here's a tribute to the lady of my life right here. That's me and my mom standing in Lake Michigan. That was a great picture. I don't know who took that, but that's a great pic. Since we're celebrating women in history, Summer Taylor is another person of history. I'm really sorry that your daughter lost a friend. That was a really hard one. It was a hard one to process. And it hit close to home because we got to know all those people, the everyday marchers, pretty well. And so it's really sad, very sad. Losing one of the ranks. Here we go. Let me show you a better picture. So different version of it. We're gonna take it to on a happier tip here. So this is the grotto right here, right? So this is what it looks like. This in this cliff face right here, and that's like in here is the I guess where the statue is, but it's you can't only go side to side, but it's just dug out of the side of a cliff, and on top of that cliff, let me see if I got over here. Boom. Yeah, there's this incredible forest up here, like these old growth trees, just beautiful. You painted that picture, Dara, of me and my mom. That's what's up. That's what's up. There's the nunnery, where they make nuns. That's the convent up there where the nuns are hanging out, and that's the Catholic Church. And it was cool. So this right here is the elevator, if I remember correctly. It goes up, and then on the top over here, you can't see around the corner over here, is where that overhang building is located. And I don't know if I've got a picture of that in here, but if I do, I would love to show you guys, but I don't think I do. Man, here's some follow-up interviews to look forward to, y'all. So right here, I'll show you here. Boom. We got my guy Mike Peel here in the middle. We're going to be spending a day with Mike Peel, a day with a lumberjack, and I'm looking forward to that one. Stony Brook Stables right here. If you remember, it was just the salt of the earth older fella who has a horse ranch, and it's like therapy horses that work with children or people with autism and Down syndrome, and just a really cool story behind the ranch. This gentleman that was evacuated. These horses were all evacuated. All of his horses, like 20 plus of them, and they all made it. They all live, which is beautiful. But yeah, so there's definitely going to be follow-ups with those guys. We've got we're going to be back down in this area. If you guys remember this, this crazy pic here. This was down on the side, not Estacada. This was down in Paisley, the wildfires in Salem. With how close we got, it was just like walking through the infernos of hell. That was crazy. So yeah, that was wild. But we're gonna go back down and do a follow up with the people that we were working with, the Vernonia Cavalry. We're doing all the evacuation efforts with down there, and yeah, so looking forward to catching back up with them. That'll be great. And yeah, this is where that bovine kicked me in the thigh. You guys want to see this one? You remember this one right here? So this was up here at the top. That's where like the cow kicked me. Just my entire back. It was like when it first started, the whole black and blue. The entire back of my thigh was a little black and blue. And this picture right here is really cool. This is where the residents were stopping people on the road that were driving into the evacuation zones, and armed guards basically, because people were going in and looting houses after they were evacuating, which is freaking good. Like the scum of the earth doing that. It's crazy. But yeah. Anyway, just so there's stuff coming up. You know, some throwbacks to some of the yesteryear. You know what I mean? So it's just wild, guys. Like, I'll show you one or two more pics from the earlier days of the stream here. So we've got this was right out front of the federal building where they used to have the statue here, and it got pulled down. This is one of the first nights that actually I hung out with Andrew. We were out there, and I mean, you can see like it was just there was a different vibe, man. Like people were more. They weren't screening you out. Like anyone, like you can see we had press. Everyone there was just there recording, and now it's like you're not allowed to even look at people that have anything like masks on, or if you're black bloc, you're not even allowed to look at them. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy. But let's see what kind of pics we got. Here's another one of those guys right there. But we got this is back when I was with Concrete, just walking through clouds of tear gas, just strolling through it. It was just crazy, man. Like this one's nuts right here. This is just nothing but a big ass cloud of tear gas. I remember like this particular picture. I was did someone say, Kara, what would you say you were most inspiring moment throughout all the cover, considering the bad that people make good? What would I say was, Kara Hilliard? That's a great question, Hilliard. What would I say was the most inspiring moment through all you covered? That's a tough question. I've been inspired by a lot of things that I saw. Some of the stuff that really touched me was seeing the recovery of Kenosha, like how everyone came together there, with how intimately involved I got with that community, and then seeing how everybody, I mean, just the community, like how they came together, and making, efforts to recover and to heal. That for me was probably the most inspiring thing that I got a chance to cover. Being a part of the evacuation efforts in Salem was a big deal too. Helping get animals out of the fire zones and helping people save their livelihood and their animals. Just being able to be a part of that was a really big deal for me. Like that was felt good to really feel like you're contributing. Like being a part of something. And I think that's like this last year is definitely has been that. Like that's what it's been for me, is just being a part of everything that's been going on, being a part of history, as it's being made, and seeing it firsthand, and so it's just been it's been a big year. It's been a big 12 months. Like it's been a huge 12 months. Yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and just scroll through everything here. This is a good, decent one too. There we go. Struggle ends when gratitude begins. That's actually a picture of me. I had this. We were doing these road flare photo shoot, my cousin and I, which was super cool. And maybe we'll throw that on a t-shirt for you guys as well. Make that one of the merch shirts. That's pretty dope. You know, it's been incredible this last year. It's been incredible building this community, having all of you guys be a part of it with me, having, you know, the relationships we've been able to build, being a part of, you know, seeing things change, and knowing that, you know, we got to see things as they were and as they became, and get an idea of where they can go. And so, you know, I'm hoping that that's what we continue to do, is move in that direction. But I'd say, guys, what, I'm not going to stay on any longer. I think we're going to call it a night. It's been 2.5 hours. I thought I was going to do a 30-minute segment and just kind of introduce what we had lined up for the coming weeks. But it's been fun hanging out, you guys. It's been a lot of fun, and we'll do this more. I promise we'll do more live streams, studio streams here. We're just hanging out. And you guys just, you know, like it says here, find someone to be grateful for. You know, tell someone that in your life that you love them. Reach out to me at cjtv.live. If you or anybody, any women in your life that you feel have a message that you'd like to be heard, I would love to help elevate that voice. Please contact them, make sure they're cool with it, and then reach out to me, cj@cjtv.live. Or you can DM us, whatever you need to do, but reach out. And I'm talking grandparents, grandchildren, aunts, my mothers, sisters, daughters, whatever you got. If you have a whole panel, actually, generationally, get together, hit me up. We'll do some interviews. Yeah, there's been, I'm going to have to do, yeah, we got a lot coming up, but Carly, you're hitting it right. I'll have to do a photo. I'll put together like a video montage of this last year of like streaming for me for the last year has been crazy. Like, I was trying to run over like the fact that I should write a book, and I was like, I don't know, it's hard to remember everything that's happened because so much has happened. But there's a lot more going to happen, you know. And we guys got to remember what we went through, and I think that's what this month's all about, right? Celebrating women in history, remembering the greats and you know, the people in the history that have sculpted the world, and the future. You know, people that are currently sculpting the paths that we're all going to go down, and changing, you know, the world for better. Brian, thank you for that, man. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to look forward to. I love you guys. Again, get some sleep if you're East Coasters or Midwesters. I know you guys are pulling the late night hours. I'll try to get on earlier moving forward. I think Friday we're going to have another show. I believe this weekend we're going to be doing some stuff live in the streets. Yeah, stay tuned. Set up notifications, you guys. It's !notify on Facebook, and I'm not sure on YouTube. Twitch, I believe, is the same thing. But get in there and check it out. And share the stream. That would help me out a lot. I really appreciate it. Share it out to as many people as you can find, and let them know what we're going to be doing, hanging out. And let's get some more people in this community, okay? So I love you guys. Have a great night. Thanks for tuning in and celebrating some of the women in history with me. That being said, I believe that I've got one last video here I'm going to show for you guys, or share with you guys on the way out, and leave you guys to enjoy the rest of your evening, okay? So love y'all, and we'll hopefully be seeing you soon. So here we go. Oh, and let's get that going. Have a great night, you guys. Seriously, thanks for tuning in this evening. Love you, and we'll be seeing you very soon, you guys. Take care.